Hello, it's me, Raquel SSG, and we have Mikey and Milton, and Mora Kitty will be
Yay!
here hopefully later. We'll see. And I can't stream to I'm getting a notification saying I can't stream to Twitter no more. It's because it's required a premium account now. So wait, I can't broadcast on Twitter/X anymore because I need to have a premium account to broadcast on there. That's really a bummer, and I am not paying for that. So yeah,
Yeah, we heard.
I guess for now on would just be Twitch and YouTube. I guess
Yeah, well,
that's a bummer.
we heard the sad news last night too, because I know there was more than a few of the creators I sat with on two panels last night, and but they were really pissed off. They said, "Are you kidding me? We have to pay now to broadcast our stream from Twitter Twatter,
Yep.
X-Ray, Elon Muskrat's home."
X.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Like
nobody was
I'm
willing to
like
pay it.
I'm just I didn't know about this. Like I'm seeing it right now. Like if you want to stream onto X/Twitter, you have to have the premium account, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying for that.
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
no,
don't think.
the guy that wants to put computer chips into people's brains that would literally allow people to reprogram the brains once the technology is developed to hack them is doing something wrong. Oh no! It's next thing you know, next thing you know that he'll have a supervillain base where he's literally launching rockets up into the air after copying from the movie The Dictator, telling them that they had to make it more pointy, and then going, well, it arguably makes it less aerodynamic. Oh no!
Oh my! I think we just released a Frankenstein into the social media world.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Frankenstein was the doctor, not the creation, and the creation wasn't the monster. Frankenstein was.
Oh yes, I know, but I was referring to both the Doctor and the creation. See how I did that?
I'm just saying, Frankenstein was the monster. The creation was a child in an adult's body. Of course, mistakes happen.
Yes.
I know for
Well,
Facebook, they also changed their requirements to stream on there.
yeah.
I
I know a
think.
platform that can legally mine your own phone for data and clone all the information of any device that you hook up to it is somehow
Yeah.
corrupt. Oh no!
So so last month Facebook said live streaming requirements. This is like last month. Launch a new requirement that Facebook accounts and pages must meet before an account before they can live stream on Facebook. The requirements are as follow: your Facebook account must be 60 days old, and your Facebook page must have at least 100 followers. Like for reals, I had to at least have 100 followers on my Facebook profile to stream onto YouTube.
Raquel, that's not actually a hard requirement to meet. I'm not even on their side. That's like all you have to do is just like be there.
Like, that's just like no.
Yeah.
I don't I don't even to be honest. I'm not even uh that close to 100 followers on Facebook. Not even. Um,
Seriously, I thought that was the site where everybody's friends with people for no reason.
yeah, I'm not even close to that. I'm only at 72.
Yeah. But the thing is, I already have, I do have family and some friends, close friends I know, and cousins, and my nieces and nephews are all on Facebook, and even my brother and one of my sisters. And every once in a while, see, my parents, they don't go to Facebook. They won't touch it. They won't go near it. But every once in a while, if they want to find out what's going on with their oldest son, me, and my beautiful wife Suzanne, they'll check with one of our other family. We like to call them spies, and they check up on us and they say, "Oh, guess what? Mikey and Suzanne are doing this and this and this and that, and that and that and that and this on Facebook," and then they want us to communicate with them. And the one and only time I tried that, nothing was getting through. They couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear them. And this was when, I still had my other terrible computer, but still I could attach StreamYard to Facebook. And I tried it and it didn't work. And I said, no, I can't do that anymore. So
Well, now you're like Facebook. Let's see. Facebook is saying your account must be 60 days old, and you have to at least have 100 followers now to stream on Facebook. On 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 StreamYard or Restream and stuff like that.
yeah.
And now that was like last month, and now Twitter/X is saying you got to have a premium account that you have to pay for to stream on StreamYard and Restream and YouTube and stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised as someone along the way, and I really hope not, that YouTube's going to do the same thing.
I have a feeling. Yeah, it's not a good thing right now.
No.
There's been rumors. There's been rumors going around about YouTube connecting with another streaming service, and then you're going to be paying. If you want to use StreamYard or Restream, you're going to have to pay maybe that YouTube combination with whoever they combine with. I think it's either Netflix or some other kind of company, and I'm worried about that because, basically, if they want to charge you, then you don't stream anymore because you
Like,
go down.
I have, like, that worries me as well, Mikey, because I have my main account and my gaming account. I don't want to pay twice to, like, stream both of my channels.
I know, hon, and I have two channels too. Well, even though one is inactive, but I mean it's still out there, and they're even threatening to, get rid of all the inactive accounts, ones that people aren't even watching anymore. And so that would
What
be
do you
all
mean?
those hours I spent on one channel is going to be gone.
What do you mean inactive accounts? That they're saying they're just getting rid of people's profiles that don't stream?
Yeah, for the ones that don't advertise, like I told you, I had one account that I started way back in 2008, and I ran that for 6 years, and it ended at the end of 2014. And even though it has 165 subscribers on it, the thing is that it's only watched every once in a great while, and not a lot of people are watching some of the stuff on there. And now I'm hearing rumors that if Facebook finds any of these kind of accounts that don't have a lot of watch hours at all on them or views or anything, they're just going to delete them. They don't care. So, I mean, I have a lot of
Facebook
material
or
there.
YouTube?
No, YouTube. YouTube
Okay,
is going to
YouTube.
get rid of them. Yeah, YouTube.
Oh wait, okay. I have if this is a little bit confusing. So, like, they're saying if you have a YouTube account and you don't stream and just upload videos and watch videos on YouTube, they're pretty much going to get rid of your profile?
No, what I'm saying is that if your profile, like I said, it was my very first one. So if that profile doesn't get a lot of views from other people, like if it doesn't get watched enough or whatever, then they're going to delete it because it is like I said, it's an inactive account. Mikey Susor is the one that's actively working and streaming, and people are watching and viewing it. But my first one, which was Warlord Fade, they're not really watching it very often, and I always check the stats on it. But they could just as well get rid of it. That's the whole thing.
No, wait, like, this is like a little bit confusing. I have my personal profile. I don't stream on there. I just watch YouTube videos. So, but it's still like I don't, even though I don't stream, I do watch videos on there. Does that mean like that that profile is on a chopping block to be
My
deleted?
source, Raquel, my sources state that, and this is only my sources that the inactive accounts is basically if the accounts aren't used, and get very
Okay.
few views. So if you
Right.
want to keep your account, Mikey, just watch videos on it every now and again.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
It
even
should
though
stay
it's
up.
inactive, I should be watching my first
Then it's an
account.
active account. Then it's an
Yeah,
active account because it's being used. That's basic. And if you aren't going onto your account every now and again to check on it and maybe watch a video just to be sure, um, yeah,
I don't like
it's
hear
fair enough.
you know, I don't really like hearing that. Like, you like just because your account hasn't been used for a certain amount of time that it's deemed inactive.
I'll
You
be right
know,
back.
I don't like the fact that YouTube can just delete your profile like that. That really should be your choice, not them.
Um, I'm gonna. YouTube is a business. They don't like the small time YouTubers. They don't because it
Right,
doesn't make
right.
them profit and revenue. And you're not a human being to them. You're numbers. That's with every business. That includes your mum and pop coffee shop. Your numbers.
Right, right.
um, yeah, this whole idea and concept of business loyalty is actually really just to try to hook the customers. And it's
Mhm.
yeah, it's like people that think that's like people that think their boss is their friend. And almost every case, the boss isn't your friend. He's going to try to milk every cent out of you and every bit of labor out of you. So yeah, a lot of laborers essentially work themselves to death for a false dynamic with that as well. It's, yeah, basically every business is horrendously corrupt because at the end of the day, it's only about money.
Mhm.
Money is pretty much the source of most evils on planet Earth, but it's a necessary source because it's an exchange of labor for resource. And we do need the representative token.
Mhm.
Silence says that I said something bad.
Oh, no, 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 no. Like, I'm just like, on X. I'm like, hey, we're live streaming. Come and join us.
Join us, or else I'll find out where you live and send sad letters to you saying, "Why don't you love me?"
Uh
You bite when me and everybody else does that to your account. No, I do care.
All right. We got Mikey in the chat. Good evening, chatters. And we have Pleasant Valley Picker CA. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey,
All very true. Yep.
what's very true?
From what you said about YouTube.
I have no idea what I said about YouTube. Like my memory's shot. It's a hot day, and I haven't had any sleep.
Oh, you didn't take any like no naps today?
Shortly it'll be 48 hours since I last slept. Insomnia's a nasty thing.
Oh man, you're not even kidding about that.
It's it's for once it's just ADHD induced. It's not like night trauma or anything like that. It's just ADHD induced.
Mm-hmm.
So an overactive brain.
I'm melting too hot for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, no kidding. It has been really hot. And stuff like that. And more kitty. I
Yeah.
was wondering where you're gonna come.
Sorry, my thing does
Myra.
not give me notifications when someone tries to get a hold of me. I got wrapped up in some other
I,
like British detective show, semi-British.
yeah. But yeah, like when I had an appointment this morning. It was like just like it was like in the upper 80s, like when I went out this morning, and and it got to like a 92.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, let's see the rest of the week is gonna be like gonna be upper 90s. Supposed to rain. Supposedly on Monday. We'll see. We'll see about that. And it's gonna go like it's gonna fluctuate to upper 90s and lower 80s. For the rest of the weekend and next week.
Yeah.
Lots
Well, right
of
now,
100 degrees days. Yep, we're officially in dog days of summer here. So
oh yeah.
yeah, cool
I
yourself
have,
off and make sure you stay hydrated.
I'm
Yeah.
sure 100 degrees is hot. I don't know what that is in real temperature.
Fahrenheit.
I think it's like nearly 40 degrees.
Holy
Probably.
shoot.
I think. Let me go look. Let me look it up real quick. See.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah,
tell
I
you
can't
this.
handle anything over 20. I can't handle anything over 20 degrees.
You mean
Anything
Celsius?
more than 70 degrees, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've gone through two different types of 100-degree days. Yeah, I know. Me too, PvP. It's good to see you too. What was I going to say again? Okay, so when I lived in Arizona all those years, that's like literally. I mean, Suzanne was only with me for a year, but I mean,
Right.
she says it's literally like putting your head in an oven and just leaving it there.
Oh,
That's how a 100-degree day with dry heat is just like that. And then if you go through, like I did live in Oklahoma for a little while, as I've told the ladies here, and I did go through one of those days where it was 90 degrees, but 90% humidity. So you knew it was going to
Oh,
rain. And you're literally like, you walk in, take a shower because you're already sweating and you're on your way to work, but you got to take a shower. And I go into the shower, take it, and then I come back out and I'm covered in sweat again. It's like I never took a shower. And I took
like,
a cold one. I mean, literally just to freeze my bone and everything. And it was like I never took the shower. So that's like the whole deal. And like right now it's like 70 degrees outside. Uh, because it is, well, it's 11, almost 11:30 p.m. at night here, East Coast. But but we still have high humidity of about 70-75%. So we're always wondering, oh, please rain, but when it's waiting in the air, it's lingering. So that's where all that humidity just hits you like being slapped across the face with a towel of hot water or something. It's nuts. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember having to tell somebody in my age group that humidity basically means it's 20 degrees Celsius hotter, high with high humidity. And they were like, "Oh, that doesn't make sense. There's water in there." It's like, yes, but human beings cool down for evaporation. Your sweat cannot evaporate when you're already covered in fucking moisture from the air.
Yes. And it's even worse for bearded men like ourselves, right, man?
My
Yeah, like
beard
this
is
time of
awesome.
year, like, guys don't really have beards because it's so fucking hot.
It's too hot.
Raquel,
Mm.
sorry, Mikey. You know how
Yes.
fabulous and awesome my beard looks? A third of it's still shaved off from when I had my tumor removed from my jaw.
Oh,
Like, and it still looks magnificent.
oh well, yes, it does. It looks great. Like I said, you look like a Norse god.
No, they only
You're in New
wish that they
Zealand.
could be as handsome as me. Evidently on my mum's side, I'm like part Norwegian and stuff like that. I can't remember what percentage, but it was enough to
Well,
get into the Norwegian only server.
well, there you go. See, um, and then PvP says rain would have to be heavy and go for hours, otherwise it would just be humid horror. Yes, yes, that's absolutely true. Well, because PvP, you live in British Columbia, so the western part of Canada gets a lot more dryness than up, the way over here in the east coast of Canada. So, and we get a lot of the humidity here, like they do in New York City and everywhere else, in this part of the country.
Yeah.
I live in a
Hi,
rainforest.
Insanity. Welcome. I'm here to club, break out the glow sticks and the EDM.
I almost thought he was going to say a boombox, like.
Exactly.
I
That's
live
what
in what I think might be the most southern rainforest on planet Earth. I live not too far away from Fjordland, which has one of the most highest rainfalls on planet Earth. And then I find it funny when the English turn around and go, "Oh, it rains a lot here." It's like, yeah, we get like something like 40 times the amount of rain you get.
Rain would have to be heavy and go for hours, otherwise it will just be human horror. Come down to southeast Texas for some awesome humid moistness. No thanks. I shaved my facial hair today. Went to get car insurance renewed and don't want to look like a homeless man.
He didn't want to look like a homeless man. That's fair
I
enough.
don't like the term homeless man. I like to refer to it as GTA Christmas Angels.
Or hobo angels, as he calls them.
You say hobo, I say Christmas angel.
No, you never mind. I can't with you right now.
Sorry. I like the horrible realness in GTA because I can laugh at it in a fake thing.
Yeah, it's like, like when it's like this hot, like, at this time of year.
Hello, DJ Play Nice.
Oh, DJ Famous
Hi,
here.
DJ
Hey, good evening.
Yeah.
Thanks for hosting. You're welcome. Like when it's this time, like it's hot this time of year, certain stuff melts, and like tar, for example, and like this is like surprising. So this was like let's see, last month, I believe. See, the heat is relentless. A wax sculpture of Abraham Lincoln in Northwest DC has melted so much it almost lost his head. I'm like, holy criminy.
I want to see that. I want to see that.
Yeah, like, it's like, okay, who thought it would be a good idea to put a wax figure outside of Abraham Lincoln? So yeah, there it is, right there.
Oh wow!
Like it's just melting. It's just melting.
Oh, gooey Abraham.
Like the head is just falling off and stuff. Like it's just melting. Like look at that. The head,
And,
dude, the head's just like falling off.
Oh,
that's morbid.
And hello, Mr. Grant Gregory Owl. Or is that
Hey,
Gregory?
Mr. Grant Gregory, what's up?
Yeah.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Yoda.
And Mr. Grant Gregory says, "Hello, Moira." Yeah, like
I'm glad you're here,
like
sugar.
that is like that's like if you have wax figures outside that during this time of year, that's not a good idea. You should have like who didn't think maybe you should only bring this figure out during when it's cold and not really when it's hot. You know what I mean? Because it is a wax sculpture. Wax and heat don't really mix.
Yeah.
Melted Abe looks like you drank away too many coolers. Touche.
Abe is chilling. Yeah.
Looks like Abe is getting a never mind. Abe is chilling.
Well, what that reminds me of is up there in northern Arizona. There's this place up there, which is it's outside of Sedona, called Yarnell, and Yarnell has a monk's place that's there, and close to it, they built this Last Supper, the Last Supper of Jesus Christ, with and the disciples, all in the Sedona, sandstone, the Sedona red sandstone. And I always remember that each time we drove by that thing, somebody either chopped the head off, or or they just melted it with water, or what, because it's Sedona red sandstone. And so if you spray it enough or hit it enough, then it destroys it. And there's a lot of pranksters, but they can never, I don't know what it is, they just can never find these people that do this to such a great relic, that's recreated. And I don't know, I guess that wax figure thing just kind of reminded me of that, except in this case it's Mother Nature, but with the Last Supper table, it's more of pranksters and people who want to destroy it. I don't know. So
it's like it's so hot in Arizona that
yes.
your tires are basically melting.
Oh, for sure.
So what you're telling me is these places are the worst places on earth, and no human being should ever be subject to living there.
Pretty much.
Especially this time of year, yeah, like Arizona, Las Vegas, or like very, very hot. Like like what is the hottest spot in the U.S. this time of year?
Death Valley.
Death Valley, hottest spot.
What I understand is the
USA. Death Valley, California.
Why would you live in hot places? What's wrong with you guys?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd say you need a hug, but that would make the problem worse.
That would probably be cooler.
What's the temperature for that today? Right now is 114 Fahrenheit in Death Valley, California. Whew.
You could literally cook an egg.
Yeah, make cookies. Yeah, sure. Just put them just put your pan outside and put the dough on top of it. Just wait for several minutes. Boom, cookies done.
Oh no! Putting out black cookware out there, you could probably literally fry bacon.
Mm-hmm. People who live where the water isn't. Yeah. Basically. Like I saw something on I think like it was like yesterday about something about, since it's really hot, it was something about Disney. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Raquel, while you look for that, I wanted to go ahead and show you the image here. I'm gonna put it into present. So we'll do the I have to
Hey, lemon pie!
Yeah, lemon pie.
All the cool people at? Yep.
Hi, lemon pie.
Yep, Pleasant Valley Picker cold showers. Hey, Akeem! Someone say bacon? Hello, everyone. Hey, Akeem! Been a bit. How are you?
Lots of hugs.
Greetings, humans.
Greetings. All right, Mikey's sharing something.
Yeah. So if you look at this picture right here, see where this is from the image that I was talking about earlier. This used to be made of Sedona red sandstone, and it was covered by a tent. This is from the Garden of Gethsemane, according to the Bible. This is just before they went into the garden, and it's all there. And so what happened was, because it was being attacked by pranksters and destroyed and everything, they finally had to make this image right here of it. Can you guys see it pretty clearly? It's made out of complete granite. They went ahead and did everything in a limestone granite and everything there. And they did the same thing over here, except this has a mix of the Sedona red rock over in this corner there. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's part of their Catholic shrine in Yarnell, Arizona. But yeah, it's beautiful. I really enjoy that. So yeah. I'm glad they found a way to make it better, so that nobody can destroy it. That's the best part. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that to everyone. So yeah.
Sweet, thank you, Mikey.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Let's see. Like I saw it just like a couple days ago.
And here's Hakeem. Hi, Hakeem.
Yay!
Hi, person in the chat.
Meow.
Yeah.
Yes, this is where the awesome people are tonight.
Where are they?
Yep.
We're right here. We're all
Oh,
awesome.
we're awesome. Okay.
Now here's my beard milk. I'll show you mine real quick. This is the one I'm trying to grow to get down here. Yeah, see? Now yours is a bit fuller. Mine is just shorter, but I'm trying to get it down to here so that I can do some volunteer work for Salvation Army and be a Santa Claus this year for the kids.
Just never trim it.
Yeah.
Just never trim it. That's how it grows longer.
I heard it rosemary oil can help.
Mine's just fuller. That's what I'm trying to do. But you said you trimmed yours, huh?
No, I had a piece chopped off from my surgery.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it'll go back eventually. You know.
Eventually, it's been
I just
months
want
and it's
this to
only
grow
been like
down
that
here.
much.
That's what I said eventually for, Milton.
Oh god, it's gonna take years. I'm not even kidding. I have like the slowest beard growth ever. Like if I wasn't growing this like ever since I could grow a beard, yeah.
Yeah, PvP says he can never grow a beard like that. You never know, PvP. You said you already just got it shaved so that you can do your insurance renewal, and now you can let it start growing again. Don't worry, you won't look like a homeless man. But then, how would I know? You never show your face on
What I
camera.
recommend is wear your most worn out denim jeans and your most worn out t-shirt, and with a jacket, just put it in a concrete mixer for 3 seconds. You will not look homeless. You'll look beyond homeless.
Yeah, PvP says he's got only a mirror Spock goatee. Okay.
Oh man, I don't know if I can find it.
And Lemon Pie says Milton has taken physical form. And Sir Lemon says my facial hair grows fast, but I stay clean shaven. Yeah. Well, that's good, Lemon. Well, of course, you also, like the beautiful Miss Raquel, live in Texas, so it's hard to keep a good, to keep a beard, much less like mustache or anything. I couldn't do it when I was in Oklahoma. I could not. It would just sweat too much and look haggard, like I came off the street or something. So I had to make sure I had mine clean shaven every day. Well, I mean, I had to stand behind the front desk, and then I had to sit up breakfast in the morning. I worked at a Super 8 motel, so overnight.
Let's see if I can do it this way. Gosh damn it. I hate it when I can't find something.
I feel bad for you then.
I know I saw it like a couple days ago. It's just, when you're trying to find something and you saw it and you can't find it, that's when I get frustrated.
It's like fate is gaslighting you. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I will never gaslight you, remember?
Here it is. This was from Clownfish TV. Clownfish TV is like one of the channels I watch occasionally. They're pretty good. So they're saying Disney Dismal World News. So they're saying Disney cast members are allegedly are alleging that Disney is letting their costume employees swelter in record high temperatures because they won't fix the air conditioning backstage. One cast member even passed out. Is Disney too cheap to fix the AC or what?
Apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently.
Bastards. They're making millions of dollars and they can't even like do a little AC. What a bunch of dicks.
They're
Yeah, I
only
mean, that's
making millions of dollars out of exploiting their workers. I mean, come on, have some sympathy for them.
Yeah.
now. Come on, if you were dressed,
Thank you so much, Hakeem.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
thank you, Akeem. Well, just think a moment there, Milton. If you were dressed up as one of the seven dwarves and all day, and you were in humid temperatures, and you couldn't take your uniform off until you went backstage, and even then, you're probably covered all in sweat and disgusting.
Oh, it's rough.
I mean, would you? And they had no AC or fans or anything for you backstage or anything there. Wouldn't that piss you off? I would think so.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just remember that I'm in the happiest place on earth, and my great overlords above me deserve all the money that I can give them, and it is unfair of me to even ask for my wages. It impedes their millions and millions of dollars of profit.
Ah,
Milton has doubts that I'm an actual lemon pie. This
I
lemon
don't
pie.
think you're a real lemon pie. I think you're a human.
How dare you?
well, the other night we were making fun of lemon pie because we were talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, and in the trailers you see Wolverine in his full yellow spandex outfit, which he had on in the comics, but you never really saw him wear it a lot. And in these last three trailers for the movie, he's worn it and he's wearing it in the film. And I was like, wow, you mean you finally got it right, you morons over there. You decided to find, not only did you allow Ryan Reynolds, Canadian, to have his Deadpool 3 moment and have it R-rated, which is the first time ever for a Disney live action film of any kind, but you also allowed for, them to have Hugh Jackman dress up in the big yellow spandex. I don't even know if he was ready to wear that or not, but damn if he doesn't look good. So we were talking to Lemon, and we said, Lemon, you know what you should do? You should call yourself Lemon Spandex Pie.
Oh my goodness.
We all got a kick out of that.
That is the best name for him ever.
You weren't making fun of me. I was embracing the fact I probably would look great in yellow span.
Well,
That
Lemon, we
is
didn't
feisty.
know. We have never seen your real face, so we can't, real bodies, we can't say. But
Yeah.
I have
we'll
faith
take
in you.
But Pleasant Valley Picker, like he says, I remember when folks loved Disney. Those days are long gone. I still like Disney, but I'm more like of a old school Disney fan. Like I like Cars and stuff like that. Like I love the days from Disney was still doing 2D animation stuff like that, which I really think they surely can go back into. I still love Disney. It's just like certain films I'm not really a fan of, I guess you can say.
Well, I know for
Oh,
Suzanne and I, the very last thing that actually reminded us of older Disney was recently, a few years ago, they did a sequel to the original Mary Poppins, and they did Mary Poppins Returns with Emily Blunt and as Mary Poppins, and then they brought in Dick Van Dyke out of nowhere, and the man can still dance. I mean, he's in his 90s, and the man's doing tap dancing and all this stuff on top of desk and everything.
Right.
And it was so cool. And I was like, Susanna and I both loved it. And I mean, I think that, and then when they did the prequel to Wonka, and had Wonka, Timothy Chalamet was in that. And that was so fantastic. It just reminded me of older Disney. And before that, I told Suzanne today earlier, in fact, this is so weird. I told her, I said, the last good thing we saw was Tron, and after as live action. And that's basically when, well, of course, Walt Disney was gone, but his brother, was still around. But then when his brother passed away, it was just like their whole lightness and goodness and everything died. They went to the dark side. So, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's weird. I just had to go all the way back to the '80s to find a good Disney film. Long live action, even
Modern
longer. For animation. So
modern Disney franchise, well, Monopoly, uh, is basically this. It's a classic example of an old phrase: never mix business and politics.
Hmm.
Never mix business and pleasure.
right.
It's like some things are like oil and water. They don't mix, and you shouldn't try.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yep.
I love that Lemon Pie is even quoting a Star Wars quote. He's saying, "I'm more lemon than man now after the dark times, after the Empire." And Akeem is laughing at him.
What
Yeah,
what a cutie pie.
yeah,
I'm more loving than a man now after the dark times, after the Empire.
yeah.
I am a
That's
perfect
very
answer. The pie tart is to appear sweet, sour, and acidic.
And acidic. Yes.
I almost read that wrong. Like, wait, nope, it's not, not the
Now you're
word.
not full of acid. No, don't do that.
No, I was going to say a sadistic. And I'm like, no, that's not the word.
No, that's me. That's me, Raquel. I'm sadistic.
It's
No,
like,
you're not.
it's like no, it's not
You're
the
right,
word.
no,
Is acidic? No, it's no. There's no acid in the front. Sorry, 11.5.
Oh man. Oh,
So
you know what, Milton?
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go
I know.
ahead.
I was gonna say, Milton. Do you have any pets of your own? I know Moira and Raquel and I. We all have pretty kitties, but
I
I don't know
literally
if you have.
showed you my dog 10 minutes ago.
Oh, you did. Okay, your doggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one dog. That's my only pets at the moment. I suppose does an onion count? I do have a pet onion at the moment.
11.5 says, "Well, let's not get into bedroom preferences." Okay.
Oh my. Well, meow.
Oh, me, yeah.
Me?
Someone into like the vixen territory here.
That's getting
My
spicy.
bedroom preference is the light on, and I get to go to snoozy by
Does someone want some ASMR to go with it too? Oh,
You just
sticky! Like
go.
I don't know if you guys have been like saw this today or not. But let me bring it up here. So stupid ad. Um, so stupid ads. So Microsoft outage sparks chaos around the world. System failure grounds planes with TV channels, airports, and banks around the globe with knocked offline, and massive outage causing Windows software to suddenly shut down.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
massive Microsoft outage has sparked chaos around the world, grounding flights, knocking hospitals, GP surgeries, train services, banks, stock exchanges, and TV channels offline. The technical fault caused by update pushed out to customers of cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, never heard of that, has caused Windows software to suddenly shut down, prompting departure boards to immediately turn off at airports, including Heathrow, Gatwick, and Edinburgh on the busiest
Edinburgh.
day.
Edinburgh.
Thank you, Mikey.
Don't pronounce
On the
the G.
busiest day of
You're welcome.
for British airports since the coof.
Evil disease. Yeah, we don't want to mention nuclear.
In a sign of global impact of IT failure, passengers were seen sleeping in passageways at Los Angeles International Airport. Huge queues formed at terminals across Spain and in
Delhi.
Delhi.
In Delhi.
Thank you. Staff set up a whiteboard to record departures. Now this is a
Ooh.
massive fuck up here. Like
Oh, yeah.
what the heck happened?
I'm just-
honestly
I'm
like
just-
trying to say it wasn't a cyber attack, but low key I kind of feel that it was because
Well, that's what my mom
Windows does
thinks. Like,
update.
she thinks there's someone hacked their software.
Well, I think maybe so because it says it's done by a Windows update, but Windows updates all the freaking time, but this doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
the problem
And
with
they can't all be
updates.
running on Windows. Well, I guess
The
Yeah,
problem
we
with
read about
updates
it.
is there can be backdoors left in through the glitches. But I'm just glad nothing essential went down. I'm just glad it was only banks, hospitals, governmental departments,
right.
TV
and
channel.
only non-essential things for day-to-day functioning of human beings, such as the people that handle our money, handle our lives, and handle all our political documents.
Well,
But one of them
the
isn't
hospital
necessary.
part.
But I think the
And
rest
the
are.
hospitals, like people, like patients that really need care right now, they can't get the care they needed because the computers are down.
Well, they should be able to do it the old-fashioned way without it. They should be
That's
like,
what I
all
was
right, what's wrong with
talking
you?
to Milton,
Okay.
like, this morning. Like, remember the days in the library, like when I was a kid. I remember if you want to check up a book, you have to open the book, bring out the card with the
The
stamp
little
to check
card,
out,
yeah.
Yep.
and to put it back in the book and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They should really bring that back. It's a classic,
It's a
and they
good
should
backup.
really. Yeah, it was a good backup. Like paper files are a good backup. Why are we not seeing
Microfiche.
the
Microfiche
paper
is a great
file?
backup too. Yeah.
Do you know how you actually solve this whole problem? Very
Hmm.
simply. Your own internal intranet system. So as your external systems update, that your internal backup system is definitely not updating. So just in case things go down, you can always revert to the backup system.
That's
Right.
But we don't need backup systems. Why do we need insurances? We can just all put our eggs in one basket. That's great.
Yeah, we
Well,
should
right.
not
It's
put
very
your
odd,
eggs in
but
one
it
basket
sucks.
that kind of way. That's not a good idea.
Like call me
That's
a backwards simpleton, but like when it comes down to essential things like animal feed and medical supplies and stuff like that you need in your day-to-day life, I don't know a single human being on planet in my entire region that would turn around and not have a backup of necessary supplies. And the fact that the banking could be put down by a simple computer error and they had nothing to back it up with, the fact that the hostels could go down, this is across the entire freaking world. The fact that these services could go down is absolutely disgusting levels of stupidity.
I have to agree
Oh,
with
yeah.
you there, Milton. Like what?
Indeed.
Like
It's
why? Like I mean, yeah, we're all like having we're pretty used to like nowadays like having information on computers and phones and like that and stuff like that. But it'll be a good idea, common sense here, calling have a paper backup or something physical that isn't electronic, just in case something goes wrong. This is like a warning sign that we should really do that.
right. Well, we've
but
had warnings for a while. I mean, if you know,
Mhm.
one of the biggest, of course, hackers is Anonymous, and they've been doing this for years. I mean, they realize that a majority of society is just so dependent on technology in general that they feel like if they can hack it and exploit it, it can bring a lot of people, back to the Stone Age, and that is frightening to a lot of people. Don't forget, there are
Apocalypse,
weapons out there that
blackout.
is, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
find
sorry, what did you say, Raquel? I'm sorry.
yeah, like like I just can't see why we can still be independent with electronic, but at the same time, it'd be a pretty smart idea to have physical backups just in case something goes wrong. And I don't understand why we're not doing that.
One of my
Yeah.
doctors is going to do just fine because he didn't want to go to computers. In fact, I think most of his patients still have a regular paper file that he keeps as a
Yeah, paper
backup.
files.
Yeah.
Here's something just to highlight. not to bring it into a political spectrum, but only bureaucratic systems went down. Now, we all do know after a long term experience in your jobs, you want to do minimum effort for maximum pay. So these people, the most higher ups of these groups, all determine their own wages based on what they decide their wages should be, and they all are in charge of running these industries. And for some reason the media worded in a way which the made Windows sound like the bad guys here. Windows is only a operating system. Where is the backup operating system? Why are these bureaucratic groups such as airports, banks, and governments not having a backup system to ensure the people and ensure the populace? Why are they leaving the populace and the people in a vulnerable position? And why would we keep paying their wages and keep giving them supplies when they are putting us in a position where we're set in such vulnerability, where human lives are completely at risk and only highlighted here? It's like, why are we signing our own death warrants with people that are so lazy and incompetent that they can't do their job and they're only there to collect a paycheck? This is actually the people's fault, not theirs, because we're the ones allowing them to dictate our lives when they're not even willing to put in the minimum effort to do so.
Preach on, brother. Holy shit.
Like, I have to give kudos to Milton with this one. He has a point.
Amen.
I know, like Mike said, we have warnings before, but to me, this is like a huge warning that we really need to, let's just put it in, I don't mean to sound like be crude here, get our head out of our asses and actually, do something about this.
We need to train. What it is we need to train for emergency backup systems. We need to have, and we need to have them protected. Because don't forget, if we do get into some serious conflict, the only thing that countries usually would have to aim at us would be an one of those EMP type of it doesn't even need to be a missile or anything like that. It could just be placed in the middle of, say, like a government office or some other kind of, major network, a business or anything like that. And if somebody sets that off, it can destroy all your electronics within a certain, framework, within mileage and everything else. And that's all that somebody would need. And you know what? We're not prepared for even that eventuality. I mean, we're not. We have no concept right now of how to protect our systems, how to protect our lives on our devices. I mean, we're living in a fantasy. That's the scariest part. I mean, we just don't know. I mean, we don't know what to do when things like this happen. We're like, I don't know. It's scary. It is completely scaring me. And every day that's what can happen. Is something like this could be maybe not just a one-time thing. It can be rampant, and people are just not ready. They're not. Nobody is. So yeah, it's very scary.
There's a
go ahead.
just one thing. There's an old policy where you keep all your information in triplicate. Now, I keep my information in a written format, and digital format is essentially the same thing. You need to keep it in triplicate. I'll just use something simple, like one of my hobbies. With my occult research, I have my main book that I write things down in. I have the original copies of the books, and I also have my filing cabinet for reference. I can do anything required for that from any one of these sources. My filing cabinet can be set on fire. Informationally wise, I still have the original books, and I still have my main backup book. The mere fact that a operating system went down, and governmental services, bank services, and international travel services and medical services went down just says, where the hell is the backup? What are these people doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's-
There isn't, Milton. That's why I said it's so scary because just recently, it well last year. I mean, look what happened last year when we lost not only YouTube, we lost Facebook, we lost Google, we lost pretty much any streaming service you could actually use, and people just couldn't communicate anymore. And that lasted for a very long time. And I mean, it was just so scary. People were like, wow, to one day we're talking to our friends, the next day, oh, you mean we got to go back to the normal thing of calling them on a phone and everything else? And you know what? I
Radio.
don't have a problem. Yeah, yeah. And I don't have a problem with that because I'm prepared. I know that both of us are. Suzanne and I know right well. Like you protect Milton the way you do, we do the same. We've got stuff on paper, written down. We've got things in file. We actually have some of our most personal stuff in a suitcase locked away. I mean, we got stuff, which is reserved in case everything electronic goes completely kablooey. And we're prepared. But there are a lot more people out there that just, they're not ready like you and I and Raquel. And I'm sure Moira's ready for the inevitable too. So, it's they're not ready, and we gotta wake these people up because they are in a deep sleep, and nobody is knowing what to do. It's the most frightening thing. It's like just staring at a bunch of zombies, except the zombies are coming after you and asking for your brain. They're just standing there mumbling about and not knowing what to do next.
Right.
That's the best metaphor I could come up with.
the thing is, we shouldn't have to do anything. These systems were set up. The reason why you need to take triplicates of documents for when you're doing governmental paperwork is so you have a physical copy, they have a physical copy, and then they have the copy to be used as they are passing it around. So at any given time, if one is lost, there is two more to replace it. If two are lost, there is one to replace it. These systems have been set up, and what we're doing is we're replacing them with new systems. We're replacing them with new systems, but we're forgetting the fundamental laws. This is like building a house with no roof. This is like building. This is building a house with no roof on a foundation of sand. It's only going to fall apart.
Of course, yeah.
Lemon Pie says, "Yeah, this was a big snafu. It affected airports, hospitals, etc." Yep.
Dead.
Some places canceled like elective surgeries. That's not good.
That's not good.
Libraries would stamp the card with the due date. Yep, I remember that. They don't really do that anymore.
And they put it in the filing system. I don't know. Do libraries, Raquel, you could probably tell me, do some of the libraries still do microfiche? Do they still deal with that?
Microfiche?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
Milton, are you old enough to remember microfiche?
I'm younger than Raquel. I don't. Sorry.
Like, you have to explain it because, Mikey, I only remember, like, libraries would stamp the card with the due date and put back in the book.
Okay, well, certain files that were important to the building, when it was built in and what initial items that were put in. As we got, past the paper stage, the next thing that we, because I worked in the library once, the thing that they went to after paper was microfiche. It's like microfilm, for spies and stuff. But instead, it's on a plastic, it's like film, but it's like, they take some of their most important documents that are on file at a library. Let's say the Library of Congress, that was some of those major places. They take all of this information and file it away on microfiche. And then it's the best. Yeah, Lemon knows microfiche. It's the best way to protect your most valued documents, items, finances of the library itself, everything that most of the general public shouldn't know. That it's all private. It's private stuff. Or if there's certain items that if it's a book report or something, the kids, they would specifically ask for permission, and a librarian would go over and present them with a microfiche of, say, a certain book that they had to write a report
What is
about or
this? What are you
something.
talking about? Like microfilm right here?
Yes,
Oh,
that's it. Yeah,
microfilm, that's awesome.
microfilm.
That was
Yeah,
like the early 1980s. Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
yeah, it's
The only
microfiche. Yeah,
this is like way before I was born. The only thing I would
Oh,
even know is what Pleasant Valley
I
Picture told. Libraries would stamp the card with the due date. That's what I remember the most. I
yeah,
really
me
have
too.
not come across microfilm in the
my
library.
experience of microfilm is if you have dyslexia and you're having a major bout of it, that is the most psychedelic show you're ever going to see is letters on a microfilm set. I don't know what it was, but something about the light in the background, it was like I everything was just blinking in and out of existence as I was trying to read.
Well,
Right.
I tell you, we came from a golden age before before the
Mhm.
internet. You got to remember, they used to have internet only existed in the minds of these guys over at MIT and and all these highfalutin you know uh, Ivy League colleges and things like that. And they were on really huge. I mean, the military used to have these really huge computers. The supercomputers they call them, just big, huge things, and they were only trading some information between, their computer and libraries and colleges and things like that. But that was before the internet. Well, then guess who came onto the scene, Mister, Zuckerberg, and said, "Oh, hey, we could do this interactive thing called the Facebook," or I mean, I remember seeing the film, with the network film that he did. But yeah, I mean, that was just amazing just to see how all that came. But I remember talking to people through emails. I would send, messages through an email
Like, do you remember
saying, "Hey,
AOL? I
yes,
unfortunately, like, I missed that. I missed that because like people were like starting to go to Facebook and stuff like that. So I didn't really
yeah,
experience AOL quite sadly. AOL.
dial up." I just remember dial up and how long it took forever before you could get online and even talk to a company or a business or anything. So
Mhm. Let
I've
me get
been
rid
through all
of
of that.
the chat right here. Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
Lemon Pie says, I agree. Have a backup method if computers go down. If you're in an essential industry, train your employees to operate in the event of a tech issue. I completely agree with that.
Me too.
Pleasant Valley Picker, we be back in the Stone Age. Yeah, no one wants that.
Oh no, we don't want that.
No.
Aren't we
Actually,
over?
there was a time when everything got backed up onto physical media as a business just in case.
Yeah.
Yep. Um, Pleasant Valley Picker, I remember paper files at doctor's offices not many years ago.
Mm.
Well, they still kind of do that, but they also have computers as well. I'm ready for the zombie apocalypse. I'm fat and juicy. Mmm, tasty.
The zombie apocalypse is already here. I'm not joking. Have you seen my generation? The amount of drugs and abuse that they do to their bodies. They are zombies. By every definition, they are empty vessels without souls, and I mean that literally.
Yeah,
Mm.
there are four of them that are still playing called the Rolling Stones. Oh.
Uh, Pleasant Valley Picker says, I remember microfiche. So does Lemon Pie. Um, Pleasant Valley Picker says, not sure if the library still has it. I don't really. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Hey, Rupa
Archival libraries will.
Hi,
Trupa, how are
Rupa
you
Trupa.
doing? Are
Um,
we doing good?
archival libraries will have it. Archival libraries are to store every form of media. There is even an argument whether or not they should store old TV ads.
Mm.
Right.
Lemon Pie is shut down onto film rolls. You put it in a magnifier. Yep. Pleasant Valley Figure puts information on a plastic sheet and you read it with the machine. Yep.
Yes.
never
Yeah.
I never seen that like I mean always I've seen that in films and stuff like like for example war games, but I never like really experienced it in real life though.
Well, what the American Film Institute (AFI) did was at one time they put all of their uh, older movie media onto similar forms of microfiche to protect them, and then eventually what they did is they took the microfiche and made it into digital saving. So there are actual negatives digitally enhanced and preserved, but they're still film negatives. For certain epic blockbusters and films like that became a part of their national registry, and some of them still do that. So that's how they preserve most of that film now. Is they can imprint it on similar, media like that, plastic media, and it's taken care of. So it'll never dissolve. It'll never burn up in a storehouse or a warehouse or anything like that because it's all on a digital mainframe and preserve
Right.
that, which is cool. And yeah, they still do it. I mean, and there are some libraries now. What they've done is they've actually taken the microfiche printers, okay, and those big screens, and they modified them. So now you can actually take a microfiche uh, digitally referred to you from one library to another, because I know they did this in one of the Arizona libraries I used to frequent. And what they do is you take that information, they send it to the other library digitally, and then you can pull it up on the printer of that library that you're at and be able to read all that information if it's missing from your spot. So yeah, it's very cool. I like that they still deal with that and some of the older media as well. So yeah.
Mhm.
If you're interested in archiving, this is slightly on a side note. There is a great legend named Urban Finkel. He is the head of the history of the London Museum or something like that. He is he is a celebrity in his fields. He's one of the few people in the world that can just straight read cunograph tablets, directly translate them.
Cool.
He's one of the very few people in the world. Um,
Cool.
he's actually running a project. It's been going on for a little while now, but what they are doing is they are archiving old journals. Because, for
Oh,
example,
nice.
a journal from the 1800s to give an insight on day to day life is something spectacular. Most people's family journals from, say, their parents or their kids or something, is tossed away today because when they're no longer being used because they have no significant value. But to future generations, they will be a gold mine. He is currently storing them away and way at the moment and archiving them. Well, there's a group that's doing it that he's been involved with very heavily. Um, Little things like that make a great deal of difference into giving an insight in day to day life. And frankly speaking, time periods that we know very little about. It's like to my generation, the 60s and 70s is something that is completely foreign, and information on it's actually very interesting. But we have surprisingly little, and the further back we go, even more little we have because we have fewer means of documenting.
Sure.
Just pointing it out.
Right.
Well, I mean, I mean, I don't claim to know a lot of things, but because I'm a bit older, I just remember older media at large. That the old Linux and the old DOS and all these things, and even before internet really got the ball going. Uh, and so when I tell people, I say, you know what, you should embrace some of the older forms of communication, um, because you never know if we do end up like PvP said, if we unfortunately end up in the Stone Age again. Most people are going to need to be trained on some maybe possibly some older forms of phones or communication or even writing again, like sending a nice postcard to someone through snail mail, or maybe even doing a regular email, or sending a beautiful letter to someone, or calling them actually on a phone that's not digital, and just call them on a regular phone. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I know it sounds archaic, but you never know. I mean, technology could ultimately fail us. And when it does, we need to be ready. I mean, we need to be ready maybe to go back to older methods. We have to be
We're
trained.
I'm gonna
like
We have to train our
we're
minds to that. We do.
sorely not ready after what happened today.
Oh,
I got an
certainly not. Yeah, I scared the death out of me. I didn't want to do it yet.
I got a mind blowing. This is mind blowing. I saw a a gentleman just a little bit older than me. He was reading out a. Oh, sorry, he was telling his story from his work, which I'd say is something he read online,
Yes.
of a person young in their 20s. I am telling him that they should invent a due to an emergency that happened, telling him they should invent a phone that is on the wall with some sort of service directly wired into it that can only ring numbers for emergency purposes, both personal and to get emergency services. And I was just thinking, it's called a fucking landline.
I still have my landline, even though people like call me like, "Hey, do you want to get a deal?" Such and such. Like, I nope and call.
Here's something that gets, here's something that gets even
I don't want to hear a telemarketer try to get hold of me on a landline.
Here's something that gets even worse. They said they basically went along the lines next of pointing out another person pointing out that you need something similar to a landline that you can make calls on, but you can also send photos for it. It's called instant fax.
Right?
It's called
Yeah,
a
there's
fucking
some
fax machine.
you know,
I
there's some good
I have
chat
shared
there.
a
I
lot of
can't even
correspondence.
remember. Like, I can't remember what last time I used a fax machine. Can you guys?
Wow, a fax machine. Hey, it's
Um,
been at least over 20 years for me. At
Not that
least.
not
long,
last
huh?
week, but the week before.
Yeah, it's been 20 years for me at least.
They're great
Wow.
for transport. They're great for not last week, but the week before. I went into the post shop to fax some documents that I filled out, well, medical documents to send off, and yeah, because I'm not doing it for email and crap. I don't even know my email.
We should get on it, Milton. What the heck are you doing?
Raquel, it's literally a random sequence of 30 something letters.
Why would you do that?
Because it's annoying for people to manually hack.
Well, yeah, but that almost makes it twice as harder for you to get to your email.
Raquel, it's hard
See
for me anyway
the,
today.
see the conundrum here?
Raquel, if I don't remember it, I can't get the information tortured out of me, can I?
What? No.
That's literally how my brain works. You're welcome.
Wow.
Keem says, I can't remember the last time I wrote a letter, lol. I actually miss it because it took more effort to do it. Yeah, people just nowadays just send, good wishes cards, like holiday cards. That's pretty much it, really.
Yeah.
And
I
plus,
sent a
Valley
letter
Picker,
last week. Am I old?
no. I remember as a teen in the 70s how much was going on. My cousin and I were big music fans. We get together on weekends to listen to the classic albums we bought. Let me see. Was it a record or like a cassette?
It was records, vinyls. We're
Vinyls?
talking, yeah, vinyl
Oh, I
records.
was
Yeah.
wondering. Oh, yeah, 70s. So, yes, the 70s would be
You,
vinyls. But
yeah, you still had them, but I mean,
well, I
also
did
don't forget
say,
they used to have beta. Beta. They used to have beta
vinyls,
track. Yeah,
records, or cassette. I said records or cassette. Um,
records. Yeah, you said
yeah,
records.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some weeks we listen to 3 or 4 classic albums that came out that week. Sweet. And
Yeah.
yes, you're welcome, Hakeem. I have dubbed thee Hakeem Ahmad.
Yeah, I made him a mod too, so you're welcome too, Hakeem. I don't know if I had said you're welcome, and yeah, he's been enriched.
Yep, Hakeem has been wrenched.
He has been-
Congratulations, you have leveled up.
he has
Record.
power.
Yes,
Record.
records.
Yeah. And they're bringing those back. You know,
They
here's the
are.
thing.
They're still selling vinyl records, but
Yeah,
you know,
there
if,
is.
like you can get record players now too. Like on
Wow.
Amazon, for example. Like I saw a record player in at the Hobby Lobby store. Like
Oh my God, Hobby Lobby?
like
Wow.
a year ago. Yeah, like a year ago.
Dang.
You're
That-
welcome, Hakeem.
Here's
Yeah.
something that's going to shock you guys.
Mm,
Yeah.
Did you guys grow up using your video cassette player, VHS, to record television?
Oh yeah,
And-
God yeah.
Yes.
Like I
Oh,
was
yes,
recording,
yes.
I said this quite a while back, but I'll repeat it. So this is before DVR on television. So I would, it's like a satellite TV, right? Like on those, there was no plasma TVs back then, just big cube TVs, like Sony for instance.
Never
So-
heard of some.
Haha. So when the newspaper come in the morning, there would be a TV guide, printed TV schedule in there. And hey, Ancient One, how are you?
Hi, Ancient One.
Hey.
Hi, Ancient One.
Yeah,
And
I
so,
remember.
so I would look down there, like see, what was stuff on such channels and which time will appear on. I would immediately, go to Cartoon Network, and within Cartoon Network would be like a program Toonami that would show anime TV shows like Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
Sailor Moon, Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho, for example. And Big O too, just to name a few. So Dragon Ball Z want to go on to like I say 3:00, and so when I get off the bus, I would run to my house, go inside, go upstairs, shut the door, turn the TV on, and watch Dragon Ball Z. But then they decided to push it to 3:50. I'm still on the bus at that time, so I would get an empty VHS tape, put it in the VHS player, and I can't remember how I did it because it's been so long. And somehow
You'd hold down the play and record. You'd hold down the play and record button. Then you'd set the time. You'd set the time feature by using the up and down buttons that is normal. That was featured on the side of it to the correct time, and then you'd set the secondary time for it to stop recording by a similar feature, and then you'd leave the VHS in, and you'd go, "Nobody touched the video player, man."
Well,
yeah,
you
that
know,
felt
there
like
was a
this
time-
how I did it. Sorry, Mikey. And
sorry.
so I would miss the five minutes of the show. I'm like, okay. So I would so when that happened, like, okay, I'll get my school done. It used to be watch TV first, then homework. But since I missed putting it a little earlier, I missed 5 minutes of it. Like, okay, just might as well get homework done and then watch it on the VHS that I recorded on. That's how I did it for a long time until they brought DVR into the mix. I'm like, hey, cool.
Well, the one thing I couldn't deal with was, well, when we had, when you had tape cassettes, did you usually like, put your cassette in one of those big stereo phonic, with a tape player, and you would tape something off the radio, and tape like off a radio station you liked and things like that. Those are my early form of mixtapes I made, and I made several. I mean, I would come across the song because there was, I was so diverse. I loved so much music. I would come across a certain song, and as soon as I hear it on the radio, I'd tape it, and so I would just like have it, on this cassette. And those cassettes didn't have I think they had at least a 30-minute span of music you could put on there. But if it ran out and you're in the middle of a song that you really love, and then all of a sudden it stops and ejects, and you're like, ah! And I had that happen to me so many times, and then you try to fumble to turn, put it on the other side, which doesn't have anything, and you're trying to tape it, and you're like, oh my God. Yeah, no, FM was great. AM, it was impossible. Pleasant Valley, I totally agree with you there. But as if we got into CDs, I was like, okay, yeah, but then you have to pay for the next CD player, right? If you wanted to play those, the great albums that you would find on CDs for the first time. I never learned how to burn music onto a blank disc. I had to learn from my dad for that. It seemed my dad was always updating himself. He always seemed like he had to, because he started way back with 8 tracks and
like I
Betamax and all that
CD-ROMs
stuff.
or something like that.
Yeah, CD.
CD-ROMs. Yeah, I know the number.
Yeah, I could never do that. And my dad, like I said, he would go back to all this old stuff before that. And like, okay, here's the best example. What happened was, when he first got Johnny Cash's, Folsom Prison Blues album, he got the original album. Then he was able to put the album. They were able to put the album on Betamax, so he had it on Betamax. Then he was able to take it and he bought it on a cassette, and then he bought it on a big VHS, because they did a documentary, so he bought the VHS for that. Then he went to a DVR, and then he went to a CD of the entire album, and then eventually now they've got the a Blu-ray of the album and DVD and all that, and he probably even has a 4K. So I mean, my dad is always into the forefront of, and I just I think his kids, especially me, were lagging behind. So.
I'm going to say something beautiful I used to like to do. When I was back home during school holidays, I used to really, really, really enjoy getting home from probably normally stripping down some old piece of farming equipment or something like that across the road at the engineer's shop, and then walking in while my sister was using a tape recorder to record songs off the radio to make tape decks and just go, "How's it going, everybody?" As loud as I could. Why is the music so loud? What dumb retard can't hear
me? Pleasant Valley Picker Rickers were great. His album was a work of art. Side 1 had an album opener and would build to the end of side 1. Then you put on side 2, which would kick off with a great song. Pretty much agree. But Asian One has a question. Hello, Raquel, Mikey, and Milton. Oh no, that's not the question. I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. Yeah, here it is. Question, Raquel. Does Milton Knowles has a YouTube channel by chance? Yes, he does, but he doesn't really stream that often over there.
I only stream when I feel like it, so maybe once every 2 or 3 months. But when I do, it's really crappy.
No, it's
Well,
not.
but
I
Ancient
put
One
no
has
effort
you on
into
there.
it.
Yeah, has your Insane Witch King address right there. He is part of the Knowles clan who serves as a king of his realm. So he has Ancient One did find you. So
Yep.
you're marked.
Sequencing the song
there's
order is
actually-
important as it took you on a journey. Well,
Yes.
yeah, that's the whole purpose of songs. Is it? You know?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Nobody's ever actually stopped me and asked me why I got Witch King in there. Like, they've all gone, why do you got Insane? But nobody's ever asked, why do you got Witch King in there?
Oh yeah. So Lemon Pie, thank you for putting Milton's channel in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lemon Pie. You're the best.
Yeah, and Ancient One did it too. Yeah.
Thank you, Ancient One. FM radio was good to tape off of.
I totally agree. Yeah.
I got in trouble for listening to FM radio because my sister and my dad and my mom all hate classical music.
I had,
90-minute cassettes.
Right.
Well, you had to. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ancient One. Lupa Trupa says, I'm too young for these references. Aww.
Can I?
Finally, somebody younger than me.
Don't worry, I'm
Yeah,
too
can I
young to know. I'm too young to know microfilming. Like, what the heck is microfilming?
Microfiche. Yeah.
I know microfilm. I've never heard it called microfiche before. I'm like,
yeah, I never heard of it microfiche.
Yeah, it was called that before microfilm. Yeah, it was called microfiche.
I assume it was Witch King of Agmar, Lord of the Rings. Is that correct, Milton, or no?
No, it's because I've technically been initiated into enough covens. I'm technically actually a Witch King.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody's like ever like asked for clarification. Like, I'm actually technically a Witch King.
Yeah. And I just wanted to address, Raquel, if I may, briefly about PvP's mention there of FM radio. Yes, and there was two reasons for that. One, because FM used less commercials at the time, and then AM had a problem with a static. You couldn't get an AM radio station in as clear as you could an FM station for whatever reason. I mean, and all the time I lived in Arizona, the only stations I could ever tape off of were all FM stations. I never had an opportunity to do an AM station because it was either just too scraggly or too staticky, or it would just go in and out. And if you're trying to listen to a good song or a good program that you wanted to tape, it was hard. It was very hard to come through. So yeah, I understand people totally when you talk about FM radio. Yeah, definitely.
AM and FM radio stations are based off two different sectors in the light spectrum, or the electromagnetic spectrum, or the radiation spectrum, all being the same thing. And the issue between AM and FM can be sometimes background radiation, but it's mostly just AM has too much white noise in the background. It's a little bit harder. Well, it's easier to pick up and it's easier to send, but it's a little bit harder to do it clearly, considering the light is easily messed up in that category if you think of it as light waves or electromagnetic radiation or whatever you want to think of it as, because they're all the same thing.
Well, yeah,
my dad
yeah, no, I just want to quickly mention my dad even tried to like tape off a CB radio because he had a ham radio of his own, in his office, and he would try sometimes to tape from that, and it was just too hard because the microphone just couldn't pick up everything. And then there'd be this squelch would be going like, or something like that. And it would just be like a power surge. My dad couldn't get it through. So he was like, oh no, it just couldn't tape anything. It was just so hard. So yeah, don't ever try to, if you ever were to go back to taping off anything, don't do it off a CB or a ham radio. It's just impossible. I don't care how technologically inclined you are. You just won't be able to do it. It's
We
just
should all go back to wax disc, people. Wax disc.
Yeah,
Wax disc.
plastic. Yes.
Mm.
Hey,
So
we may have to. You never know.
yeah, you never know. So I saw this today, and I'm like, why? Why? What's the point?
Let's see.
Chad Michael Murray on the set of Freaky Friday 2, released in 2005.
No,
I'm like, why? Why do we need it? Why do we need it?
we don't need it. Chad Michael Murray, you moron! Stop! No.
No. How this works is now television has become a business, and a business is always after money. So my logical understanding behind this is why come up with a new idea and take a risk on a new idea with something fresh and new when you can just rehash something old and repeat it with your own political bias in it, because that way you're just presenting them exactly the same thing. So of course people will pay for it because they've
Right.
already done so in the past.
Right.
Well,
But like,
there's
you know,
just no-
like the first movie came out like which starred Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan and Chad Michael Murray here. It
But there was
came
an
out in
older before that.
2003. Okay? 2003. Why do we need a sequel to this movie? If we
I
really
don't
if we really needed a sequel, why like it should have done a couple of years after the first film came out. Why now? It seems rather redundant to do one now.
Raquel, you're
Well, there
forgetting the key. You're forgetting the key thing. If you make money without having original ideas, you don't have to pay people to come up with something new.
Yeah.
And Mikey is right. There is an original Freaky Friday that came from 1976. And I think Jodie Foster was in that film.
Yeah. Jodie Foster and Barbara Harris were in that.
Mm.
And that was, I think that was the first one, was 1976.
Yep.
And it was Disney, I believe. Yeah. Because Jodie was young and whatever. And that came out before they did the I'm reading it here. It said it came out, following the disagreement on Thursday before Friday the 13th. So they're just giving you the plot. So Barbara Harris and Jodie Foster played her daughter Annabelle, and Barbara was Ellen Andrews, and that was an American fantasy comedy film directed by Gary Nelson, but it was based on a novel by Mary Rogers, written by her, 1972 novel. So I actually remember that film, because I do remember seeing it, and it was actually probably one of the few live action drama comedy. Okay, now they call it a dramedy, but back then it was comedy drama. But it was decent. But I mean, come on. That is the only time you should have ever had it put out there. Because I did also, unfortunately, see the Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis rendition, and even that was not that good. And and I felt bad for Jamie. I didn't feel bad for Lindsay. I'm sorry, I'm not a Lindsay Lohan fan, but I felt really bad for Jamie Lee Curtis. I really did. But after that debacle, why would you put out another one? Period. Like that should have been more than enough reason to tell you don't do Freaky Friday anymore, because otherwise, if you decide, well, I guess they already have a Chad, so I guess creativity and originality is still going downhill into the sewer. There's no original ideas. It's all about sequels. It's cash cows. That's what they call it, cash cows.
Do you know
So
what I like about
Do
the Incredibles movie franchise? Before it was brought up by Disney, I still kind of like it. I'm just going to say this: it was something new. It wasn't Avengers. It wasn't Batman. It wasn't Superman. It was something new. The superheroes aren't liked. They're just needed. that needed, and they have, and the superheroes have to keep their identity secret because they cause a lot of destruction. It's a relatively realistic view on superheroes, as realistic as you can have. But the government
Sure.
still kind of cover everything up so the superheroes can still be super because super villains. And
Yes.
I like that concept because it's not just, oh, they're here to save the day. It's, oh God, they're here again.
Like,
It was huge.
stuff is going to be destroyed and stuff like that. We take off the pieces. Yeah, and I can see why. Like, there would be like a lot of animosity with that, with the heroes. Yeah.
And it kind of made fun of the superhero genres without really digging at them too negatively, like, because
Right.
you had that little wee short lady turn around and go, oh, no capes,
And
darling, no
Nembo,
capes. They cause way too many problems. Have you ever seen what happens when they get caught in an airplane and stuff like that?
wind
It's like,
turbine. Yep. Yep.
Well,
I think I
even
did a good impression of that voice. I got to hear that back in recording.
well,
I
you
was
know,
way too comfortable with that.
well, the ones that I'm reviewing again when our channel comes back to webcam reviews in September. One of the shows I grew up with as a kid was The Secrets of ISIS and Shazam. And I mean, that was in 1975, 76. And I mean, they were great Saturday morning live action shows. I mean, for that time frame. And yeah, they were both DC because it's Shazam and, it's Captain Marvel, and ISIS is ISIS, And I mean, but, the thing was, even that early stuff was just so, and it was educational. And I mean, they even gave you tips about life and things which were legitimate. And even some of the things they talked about, I still follow to this day. And I mean, like, it's just, that was just great television. I mean, you had original ideas, you had creative concepts, you had some morals that you could learn from about everyday life. That was just the beauty of it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why even 76 Freaky Friday was so funny, because it actually applied to, daughters back then who were jealous of their parents, especially their mothers, or the sons jealous of the fathers and saying, gosh, I really would like to know what to do if I had an instance where I could become my mom and do her job for a couple days, or the son saying, well, maybe I could do my dad's job. It doesn't look that hard for a couple days, but then you wake up to reality and go, whoa, that's hard. And and they had to be trained for that and to learn all that. See, but you could follow all that, and it was great. But now it's just like, why?
See,
Because yeah, it's just terrible. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Kill all the writers. Don't write
see,
stuff anymore.
you brushed on it. Now you did brush on it, but you didn't quite say it. But what I'm about to say, the writers nowadays are copying. Copying is always terrible. It's shit. Anything you copy that's already been done is shit. Don't do it unless you're copying
Right.
a recipe. Don't fucking do it. Do yourself a favor. If you're anyway artistic, if you're copying something, do that only for you, because everybody else is going to look at it and think it's crap. I don't care if you're copying the Mona fucking Lisa. It's shit.
Yeah.
However, people were working with stereotypes because people like stereotypes. Stereotypes. It's like, rather than copying anime style, use that as inspiration, as a stereotype, because people like stereotypes. There's positive and negative stereotypes for reasons. It's like the reason why the early superhero comics took off and got franchises was because they weren't copying other superheroes. They were making their own superhero based on what they wanted to see as a superhero.
Sure.
It's like, yes, they were watered down afterwards for TV, but Joker was I'm not even going to say the worst of his crimes, but he was a murderous, torturous clown that did horrible things to women originally. Batman was originally a delusional nut job running around running around the streets of mummy and daddy issues. That was watered down in the later comic books for children and television shows for children. But it started off as something that was just somebody putting down on paper something new, something they came up with. Yes, it was based off of previously existing superheroes, of course, but how much does one of Batman's inspirations, the Lone Ranger, represent Batman? Absolutely nearly zilch. It was just used as an inspiration. It was essentially used as, for modern terminology, they were using it as a vibe. And you can put, and a lot of things that I pick up for vibes for things that I do is simply, I might even find a squiggly line I just like the feeling of and do. And it's like I'm not really that good at art. I'm okay. I'm not really that good at being imaginative when it comes to things. But at least I'm not fucking copying like some sort of simp piece of crap.
Right.
This is a note to every modern movie writer. Make something fucking new, because I used to like movies. I still like movies, but I want something new. Like the rest of your audience, I want something new. The only
Something
people that are
new for
watching
the
your movies
original.
haven't watched the originals.
Yep. Aki says they won't rest until destroy every movie that was good.
They're not
Well,
destroying them.
I know. Yeah.
Rupa
No
Chip
capes.
says, no capes. No capes.
The thing is, they're not destroying them. They're beating a dead horse. I hate saying this. Things like Star Wars had its day. It's over. It's gone. It's making new Star Wars is a dead horse. It had its day.
Oh yeah. That was taken from the Incredibles. No capes. Yes.
No capes.
No
Like
capes.
I love I love the old Star Trek. Don't get me wrong. It's had its day. Make a new sci-fi is a genre. Make new sci-fi. Make better the sci-fi. Sci-fi. Use that as the inspiration to build upon, not just live in some sort of relegated past. Like build upon it. Like don't get me wrong. Rewatching them is good, great, love it, but it's not anybody's life.
Right. Speaking of the Batman and stuff like that, and the Joker and stuff. So I'm pretty excited to watch this. Batman Caped Crusader will be on Amazon Prime on August 1st. This is going to be a new series from DC Comics. I haven't watched the teaser trailer or the trailer for it yet, but I'm pretty excited, like a new Batman TV series, and I'm hoping is good and stuff like that. There is one thing that does concern me though. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I look forward to it. Like, I was really satisfied. I don't know if you saw it with us, Milton, but when they brought back X-Men '97, and they brought that new, new season of it, 10 episodes that Raquel and I and Moira watched. It was fascinating. It was so good. I mean, they used a lot of CGI, but it was done appropriately, and some of the some, not all, but some of the story concepts would have made Stan Lee proud, or at least the people that created X-Men in the first place. So I really enjoyed it. And I'm not, I gotta say, I'm not really a big animation type observer or a follower, but I really did appreciate the plots and the story, and like I said, the effects, and you could tell that it was done with some care, and now it's been greenlit for a second season, so it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. And I hope, Raquel, that you'll able to get this Batman Cape Crusader on the watch parties too, because I would be curious to take a look at that.
Yeah, we can plan something out.
I unfortunately haven't watched that X-Men stuff yet. It's mostly, I'll be honest, my service for pirating all my television content hasn't caught up with that one yet. Normally it comes out like real quick, like same day just about, but like that one it hasn't caught up with. Yes, I don't pay to watch TV because I don't like spending money. That's literally my only excuse.
All right.
No,
Have it.
we have one of those Sony, DVD and Blu-ray players,
Mhm.
and I refuse to watch anything in 4K. I don't understand why they ever came up with 4K in the first place, but I won't do it. And if I can find any older DVDs and even some new Blu-ray that is a movie that we actually enjoyed watching, then we'll get it. But most of the time, it's older DVDs that we enjoy the most, and we're trying to put together, compilations. Like we've got all the Jaws films, we got every one of the Star Trek films, yeah, even the Abrams stuff, and yeah, we're trying to get all the Star Wars films. Actually, I wouldn't even mind just getting 1 through 6 because 7, 8, and 9, those were really difficult to watch in a movie theater per se, and yeah, even though some parts of each film were enjoyable, the rest of it was just bleh or meh or whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, it's really hard nowadays to find anything good that was done, let's say, before the year 2000. So,
I'm,
and everything else after that is completely crap. Um, and
I'm
that's
gonna
the
say
same
something.
music and everything else. Yeah, it's just bad. Just
Well,
bad.
before you
I'm
say
gonna say
anything,
something really controversial that every
okay,
gamer listening will hate.
okay,
The resolution nowadays that they're going for is beyond the graphics that games can provide, and it's starting to reach beyond the point of what the human eye can recognize. And this is coming from scientists, experts, gaming experts, and that. So the people saying that they can really tell the better graphics is just saying that their game is more polished than the other games they're playing. They're not actually seeing better graphics. They're not seeing a better frame rate because it's beyond the actual frame rate of the human freaking eye, and we need to just start focusing on the actual things that matter. And I'm sticking up for the game developers on that one.
right. So if anyone just wondering, more Kitty's having technical issues, so yeah, she lost her internet right now, so
Oh no!
R.I.P. Moira. We'll never forget
yeah.
you.
She's still here. She's probably watching in the background, but yeah, on her cell phone. But yeah,
We miss
I hope you get your internet back sometime soon, more Kitty. Um,
I can almost remember her voice.
we love her voice.
yeah, meow meow.
Yes.
Anywho,
Yeah.
so there is one thing that just concerned me with the Batman Cape Crusader. So the code creator explains, a big Harley Quinn change. She's Asian. She's Asian woman. She has different she still has her your jokester outfit, but it's more changed. And the co-creator explains to why of this big change. That's what she's gonna look like right here.
Okay,
Um,
I'm going to have an
and
issue with that. I think.
right here,
Yeah.
that's what she
Yeah.
looks like. In
Yeah.
civilian clothing and villain clothing. Um, So, the co-creator says, I have a lot of love and affection for her, but I thought there might be something interesting about bringing her on the show, not just as Joker's girlfriend." So how did we do that? A big part was just doing a classic, basic flip. The original Dr. Quinzel was a little bit more serious, and then when she became Harley, she got really goofy and weird. So we thought, what if we reversed that? When she's Dr. Quinzel, she's a little bit more whimsical and fun, and then when she's Harley Quinn, she's scary. I have to mention we have seen a very scarier version of Harley Quinn, and it was I think it was DC Gods and Monsters. film.
Okay.
Was in like what it was 2015. We got a Mexican Superman. We got a different woman. Bruce Wayne became name, but never became Batman. Um,
Yeah,
so
I wish they would bring back. I wish they would bring back Harlequin from Batman the Animated Series. Now that was a great
don't
Harlequin.
don't get me wrong. I, I like the idea and stuff like that. So here's the Harley Quinn in Justice League Gods and Monsters. She is totally unhinged and deranged. Um as you can see here.
And that's not
Um
good. No.
so this Harley Quinn in Gods and Monsters is totally insane, deranged, more than a
She also
Joker.
looks like a porn
Um,
bot.
uh, right. She has a, she has like dead people in a family setting kind of room, and she's uh, trying to like kill Batman, not Bruce Wayne Batman, but trying to kill Batman with a chainsaw, so to speak. And she's like yelling at him and stuff like that. She's like totally has a few skew. So this
Yeah.
Harley Quinn, yeah, she's not really funny. She's really like in a maniac, murderous brain page, so to speak.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
in this
I mean,
kind of design also. Oh, I'm
mhm,
sorry. I'm sorry, Raquel. I was gonna say she kind of looks like a prostitute too. That's
more slutty,
scary.
I'm just
like,
saying that
yeah.
particular Harley Quinn is just a representation of normal people like me, and I find that rather harsh, and mean that people would criticize anybody for collecting any kind of dead animal or person and decorating their house with them.
So, like, anywho, so, I don't mind seeing the change up of Harley Quinn being an Asian woman, being more whimsical when she's in her civilian
But
clothing, profession, kind of outfit. Um, and I already seen a serious Harley Quinn before that's more deranged in the DC movie Gods and Monsters. I mean, I
Yeah.
like the idea, but at the same time, I want the classic Harley Quinn.
but the
I do too. I like the. Uh, don't get me wrong. I think that Margot Robbie did a great Harlequin in Suicide Squad. I really
Hmm.
and she didn't do such a bad job in Birds of Prey, even though I haven't seen that one yet. I've seen just trailers of it, but she looks fine. I mean, she looks like she did good. Um, if anything, I'm kind of shocked that Batman Cape Crusader wouldn't at least borrow a little bit from Margot's Harley Quinn, because I think that would be a bit more likable and relatable. And like you said, me personally, I don't have anything against Asian women. I think they're great looking beings. They're really good people. But making one into Harley Quinn herself and more of a, I mean, look at her. She's more of a like a court jester type deal, which is understandable. She's going to be with Joker, but yeah,
I mean, like,
I
I get.
can't help
I
that.
mean, don't get me wrong. I totally get they want to like go away from like for Harley Quinn just being Joker's girlfriend. I totally get that. Like, but at the same time, you can still have this classic Harley Quinn and still change it up without changing,
um,
the character so much. You know what I mean, Mikey?
my
Yes, I
my
totally
res-
understand. Yeah,
my
I came in
reservations
at
is
point two on that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like,
I came in at
still
point two million on that.
like still
Yeah,
have the same classic Harley Quinn, but have her more serious when she's in a Harley Quinn outfit, and more goofy when she's in her civilian clothing. You don't have to make such a drastic change with the whole character design. Just like just flip, just basically what he said right in the article, right here. When she's Dr. Quinzel, she's a little bit more whimsical and fun. When she's Harley Quinn, she's scary. They just could have done that with the classic Harley Quinn instead, than just basically changing her character's concept.
I'm just gonna say.
I would say, go ahead, Milton.
I'm just gonna say they have moved away from the classic archetype of the character concept of Harley Quinn before, but this is a major reversal of the archetype. Now, and the classic archetype of Harley Quinn is the doctor that takes their job way too seriously and is trying to present a facade of overly holding it together for the patients. And then Joker comes in and cracks that facade to reveal what's underneath and twist it in his own light, much like a therapist, because Joker flips the role of therapist on Harley Quinn. That's supposed to be the result. And that's why Harley Quinn is supposed to be a severely psychologically damaged individual after dealing with Joker.
Right.
And that's why she releases the fun and whimsical side, because that's actually her personality shining through. Now, the whole destructive and crazy side is how Joker has basically manipulated the claywork of her own personality towards his gang, because she doesn't actually really know what her personality is. Then later on down the line, Batman eventually breaks through and points out to Harley Quinn that she's still the same as she always has been. She's just learnt to let her hair down. That causes a whole bit of a breakdown, and it's like the Batman and Robin dynamic. Batman and Robin dynamic isn't an orphan and Batman. It's Batman takes in a child that is rendered without a family to adopt him as his own family and teach him the morals of becoming a man, while also training him to replace him as an ongoing archetype within Gotham, because Batman is frickin' mortal. He's going to die. Another dynamic that goes on is the flip side between the Batman and the Joker. And these are all extremely important because they're intertwined. Is Batman is supposed to be the reason and rationale that is unbreakable, and Joker is meant to be the chaotic and destructive force that is only breaking. Batman is supposed to essentially hold everything together as Joker's pulling it apart, because they are the same archetype. They are the yin and yang, the heads and tail
Black
of the
and
coin,
white.
if you will. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, and Joker is painfully aware of this. Batman is painfully aware of this. Joker states it to Batman all the time. Batman will ignore it or deny it to Joker all the time. It's like the dynamic of Batman and Bruce Wayne. Batman's secret identity is Bruce Wayne, not the other way around. This is why in multiple established areas, Wonder Woman has put the lasso of truth around him, and he can't say I'm Bruce Wayne. He can only say I'm Batman, because that's what he
He's
is.
Because Bruce Wayne died, when his parents were tragically murdered.
It's more than that. It's more than that. Batman had to transcend from being Bruce Wayne to becoming an immortal archetype. He is only the vessel carrying the archetype, and that is the spiritual side behind Batman, because he contains a lot of a spiritual side. It's like Batman is supposed to be just a person, but if you look at his technology and things, he is actually a super genius. But even if he is, he could never actually point that out to anybody, and would have to hide that, because the fact of the frickin' matter is, he's meant to be the archetype of a man standing up against what is wrong. He's just meant to be an archetype of a man doing it, and it's meant to be a good role model for male boys, because boys normally think in a more cinematic universe. They think of the multiple characters and things. They don't normally put themselves in the place of a character. But Batman's meant to be. This is the person this is the person you're meant to grow up to want to be. You're going to want to be strong for those that are around you. You're going to want to be able to hold it together when everybody else can't. And there is instances where Batman breaks down, but it's in private because Batman can't be seen breaking down in front of other people because he is meant to be the role model that they look up to. It's like Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn starts off as a serious doctor that takes things too seriously, so seriously, and Joker is the form of destructive chaos that rips down that facade to show that she's a terrified, frightened little girl from her childhood. But that's what she is deep down, is a frightened, scared girl. She's trying to show herself as a brave, confident woman, but she's just a frightened, scared girl that is willing to do anything for approval. And I mean anything. That's what she's supposed to be, is that piece of desperation that hangs on to chaos. And turning her into the serious thing is like, yeah, I understand, stand woman strong, blah blah blah, and all these other crap that people are going to throw around. But the fact of the matter is, it dehumanizes it. That's what I would be frightened of. Like, how do they bring the element of humanity back into it? Because every aspect of the Batman series that has ever been worthwhile is the human aspect. And that's coming from somebody that I can't fully understand the emotional spectrum. I can't understand empathy. I can't understand sympathy from an experience point of view. But I at least try to put myself in other people's shoes enough to go, okay, they're upset and sad. I got to be there. But so I shouldn't even be picking up on this, and even I can see it. So it must be painfully obvious to other people.
Right.
Raquel, do you want to go ahead and catch up on your chat there?
Yeah. I do want to catch up in the chat, but for me, I understand your point, Milton. But for me, for Batman, Bruce Wayne, died, not physically but mentally died when his parents, were tragically murdered, and he was just in this limbo state of like, who really am I? And once he just, accepted this Batman persona, that's when he identified himself as Batman. That's just my opinion on with Bruce Wayne and Batman to me personally.
Raquel, that is actually a beautiful take on it, and yeah, that is one of the archetypes behind Batman. I'm sorry, I only pointed out one of the main archetypes, but that is one of the archetypes behind Batman. And
like,
and
it is beautiful. Also, Batman as a Dark Knight, even though he's dressed in black, he represents order. Order, the white. For Joker, he's white, but he represents chaos. It's really a really interesting concept of the yin and yang.
It's also they get into conflict, like when they talk about Star Trek, where they say you can't mix matter and antimatter,
like
without consequences. Well,
right.
That's basically Batman matter and Joker antimatter.
Yeah, well, I mean, Joker is white. He's clown, so to speak.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Raquel.
Akeem says, same here. The classic Harley was the perfect mix of crazy and fun, sometimes likable. Like I said again, I have no problem whatsoever with Harley Quinn being an Asian woman. I'm up all for it, but at the same time, this is a very different version of Harley Quinn that we don't know about. I mean, I'm up all for it, but at the same time, like, I would like to have the classic Harley Quinn, but she doesn't have to be whimsical and funny when she's talking to Quinzel. And I'm sorry, let me restate that. She doesn't have to be whimsical and funny when she's Harley Quinn, and more serious as Dr. Quinzel. You can still have the classic Harley Quinn, but just change it a little bit more when she's like, serious as Harley Quinn and more funny when she's Dr. Quinzel. Whimsical and funny. Like, she did, to me, they didn't need to change the concept of design of the character.
Right.
For me,
I-
it's just
I will admit,
the only
cinematically,
the
it
only
looks
thing they
good.
should change upon is her, personality. That's the only thing they had to change about, not the design concept of the character for me.
Yeah,
But
I'm willing.
but
and
I am more like, I am more than willing to, check out this new character design concept of Harley Quinn with a personality change. I'm all for it. I just wish that they could have like kept the classic Harley Quinn, but a little bit more personality change.
Yeah,
But at the same
and I
time,
agree.
I'm all up for it. For this
Oh
new
yeah,
version
we
of Harley Quinn.
yeah.
I-
I am open to it, Raquel. I always say if you're going to in some way radically change a character that you've been familiar with for a while,
Hmm.
and in this way, it does look like almost a total role reversal in her
Right.
regard. I am open. I will keep an open mind. I have to tell you though, I have my doubts, but I will keep an open mind just to see if it plays right. Because the only way you can tell, because as we're all familiar with a lot of animated shows, the only way you can tell that if a certain character you follow is going to be effective is if they write it correctly. And then
Right.
you also have to believe
Write
that
it
they
correctly. Like
draw it
how does it
correctly.
how does it match with the overall story? If it feels off, I'm not gonna.
Exactly. Right. It's got to
I'm not gonna
match.
it's something I'm not gonna be interested with it.
Oh, sure. Oh, I didn't
Interested
mean to
upon.
stop you
But
from your
I'm
chat
hoping
there.
that's not the case. I'm really hoping
Yeah.
that's the case.
I-
Sure.
I'm going to be a bit blunt here. Look, as long as they have the correct gothic theater, the level of gothic theater and dramatic theater that Batman has always had, it's going to work out wonderfully. If they're going to change it, if they're going to change up the archetypes behind the theater, because it is it's an archetypal theater,
Right.
that particular genre. They really need to work out how to balance it out, because traditionally these things only work with balance. But
Right.
I severely hope they do, because I hate saying it, that is a cool looking character.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yeah, there's some good things in the chat there.
Let's get into the chat. Thank you guys for your patience. We'll get to your comments in a few minutes here.
We still love you.
Mm-hmm. Keem says, same here. This classic Harley was the perfect mix of crazy and funny, as sometimes likable. I think I already said that, but okay. Pleasant Valley Picker says, I want to see the film about Harley's brother, Harley Quinn, kick-ass ninja accountant.
Harley Quinn. That's fun.
I think the thing is, from what I understand about Batman, Harley being Joker's GF is central to her character. Yes, until she had enough of Joker, and just like she had enough of Joker, and just went on her own. Like if she gets out of that abusive relationship, would she still be a villain? To me, yes, because she's been with Joker so long, she can never go back to her civilian lifestyle. Batman is an interesting character, though, as he fights for the light, but it's the dark Knight to do it. Fair enough. Always like Batman as he has more complexity than Superman. Pretty much agree with you there. Harley needed to explore a dark side that she may have been unaware of, and the schizophrenic Joker provided the darkness in an acceptable state. We need that type of villainous ultimately. Yep.
Yes, we do.
I used to like Superman until he used his X-ray vision to see who Batman is. Yes, Superman cheated.
He cheated.
I'm just going to say this one thing about Superman. they wrecked the character when they removed his cellophane Superman symbol. Just saying it. Without that cellophane symbol to cover things up, he's just a sad superhero. Sad.
We all love Superman, but I have to agree Batman's more complex than Superman. When Superman's just like, well, the nickname he had, the nickname some people give him, Boy Scout. Just put it that way. Joker is chaos, the whirlwind, the antithesis of Batman. Yep.
The antithesis, yeah.
Antithesis.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was a great point. Yeah, PvP.
Actually, that's a good way to defining it. Like everybody has to be everybody else antithesis in that, or else it just doesn't work.
Great point.
I agree with that. Yeah.
PvP. Pleasant Mary Ficker says, thanks, Mikey. I still want to see the film about Harley's brother, Harley Quinn's kick-ass ninja accountant. Changing characters, race, and gender for no valid reasons is annoying to me. If you want an Asian superhero lady, that's great. Just invent a new character. Pretty much agree with you there.
Harley Quinn has drastically changed in the past to the point where switching her race isn't going to be much of an issue because it's. I hate saying this. The race has already been switched before in comics as well. Like her, like a lot of concepts of her has already been swapped around. The issue would be more an archetype because, to be quite frank, she could be a freaking Martian as long as her story. Well, as long as her archetype behind the story stays more or less the same, it still works.
Yeah, she does somewhat looks like Lois Lane more than Harley. I agree with you there. She does look like more Lois Lane.
Twist. She's really Lois Lane.
Race and gender swapping does not replace intelligent writing. Yeah.
True.
That's true.
If the writing sucks, everything else is window dressing. Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Batman can beat everyone. He only needs prep time. LOL. I am very interested in what is the normal day-to-day schedule for Bruce Wayne and Batman. Well, I don't think he really gets enough sleep.
Hang on, I want to put this. I want to put this up here. Brainiac made a superhero suit, and that made him He made a super robot suit that only a super genius could make. Batman made a better super suit, not a super genius. Tony Stark made a Iron Man suit, made him a super genius. Batman literally has an Iron Batman suit, and he's made himself a super car, and he's got super lasers and things like that, but not a super genius, even though he fits every qualification. He freaking fought all this shit up.
Yeah, but Milton, what's great about Batman, and here's the thing that I really enjoyed when they did this. They made Batman become the leader of the Justice League because, for whatever reason, he was innovative enough to come up with plans, like Plan Bs. Like if Superman goes psychotic and starts murdering people, the Plan Bs. Yeah, but we call it the Plan Bs. Like I said, if Superman went psychotic, Batman would know how to stop him. In the way of something related not only to the kryptonite, but some other way that he could take him out. So that's, and Batman can do that to all the other characters, to Wonder Woman, to Aquaman, even to Flash, even to Cyborg. We're just talking about the guys in Justice League right now that they showed. But, I mean, he could do this to anybody because, it's Hakeem is right. He needs prep time, but I think he's already had plenty of prep time. He's dealt with every one of these superheroes at least on some kind of level, and he's got this. Like I said, he's got this innovation. He doesn't need to be a super genius. He's already knows that if any of these characters go beyond their brief, they go beyond what they're supposed to do, goodness wise, and turn evil. Then Batman can stop every one of them, and I like the concept that he's like he's like the hall monitor. It's like, shouldn't you be back in class? And he's got that power. I love that. That's the best part of Batman.
I'm not saying he needs to be a super genius. I'm saying I'm just saying he is, but nobody's recognizing it. Like, he is the smartest man in the room. Like, he is the world's smartest detective. He's outsmarted Craniac and proven that he's more intelligent than Craniac, and that's a literal intergalactic super genius.
Yes.
Batman's so smart, he's convinced the world he's stupid.
Yeah. I know that's right. He can hide his persona so well. I mean, he looks like, out of costume, Batman is an awkward billionaire. I call him an awkward billionaire. That's exactly what he is, because he seems like he can't handle himself around women, but he just feels, okay, I can just throw money at the situation and it'll take care of itself. He's got to have Alfred. If Alfred's not there, Batman's just bungling around as an awkward billionaire, spending money to and fro, and eventually he'll go, he'll go to the poorhouse eventually. But Alfred's got to be there for some semblance of, I think Alfred's got to be there for some semblance of, sensibility and purpose, because otherwise, and focus, because Batman, like any normal human being, can lose focus.
Alfred is pretty much his anchor. Alfred Pennyworth is pretty much Batman's anchor.
Well, we all know Alfred is secretly the Joker. He's hired members from his old acting troupe to play along and pretend to be villains for Batman, and also the Commissioner Gordon is paid off to play along with this delusion, so Bruce Wayne won't actually really hurt himself, and eventually the Riddler is going to have a manic episode and believe he is truly the Riddler and accidentally shoot Bruce Wayne, and then Alfred's going to have to take the disguise off and absolutely shatter Bruce Wayne, leaving him nearly catatonic in a wheelchair from shock for a long period of time. Or was that an alternate spin-off?
Yes, that is an alternate spin-off. Really interesting too. And speaking of, Milton Pie says I'm just listening. It's an interesting conversation. Indeed. Most everyone. LOL. Pleasant Valley Picker. This thing is race and gender swapping has been the flavor of the month for too many months. It's got repetitious and boring. It's the same thing with trans, stuff like that. It's just, to me, it's just a trend. These two things are just trends, really. Agent One says, next thing you know, we see Batman and Spider-Man fight each other. I would love to see that. Not against each other, but fighting bad guys together. I would love to see that.
Didn't Marvel and DC do some crossovers with that? Like, I think there is.
I don't know. I know they did crossovers and stuff like that, but I don't really. I have to look into it more.
I'm going to too, because I have to know.
Next thing you know, you see Batman and Spider-Man fight each other. Not each other, like more with each other. They do a prep time on one another where they come with nothing more and nothing less but chlorine pesticides. Okay.
Chlorine pesticides? Yeah.
Chlorine pesticides.
Well, I think it means chlorine pesticides, but okay.
Okay. The Deadpool Wolverine film apparently has Deadpool variants, including Lady Deadpool. Yeah, I saw that. If Ryan Reynolds is still as creative and
irreverent,
has been in the past, will be a joke there. Speaking of which, I just want to bring this up real quick.
Okay.
Let's see here. Microsoft. Speaking of which, funny enough, they're dealing with a major technical issue at the same time. Microsoft has made an Xbox controller shaped like Deadpool's ass.
Oh no!
Designed by Deadpool. XOXO.
Oh my god!
Send me a link for that. Send me a link for that so I can judge it. Yes, so I can judge it.
We're judging it right
God,
now.
no, don't judge it, please.
We have a controller face on a tin fool's ass.
I love it. I love it.
God, can you imagine trying to play your Xbox game and you stroke it the wrong way by mistake?
Oh, you're just gonna tap that
I
ass,
just,
right?
I just
Good
hope like
tap it wrong,
randomly.
man. Oh God. Oh,
I just hope like randomly when you push the buttons, it goes ooh woo and farts.
ooh, and oh. Ooh wee. Thank you
Ooh
for telling
woo.
me. Oh God, no.
Do not press the
And
X
that would
button.
be oh,
It
that'd
will
just be bad.
fart.
Oh. Has your face
Plant
turned red like
kryptonite.
mine there, buddy?
I plan to be kryptonite glove bitch.
Kryptonite glove bitch slap.
They go
Yeah.
as far as calling each other a pest. LOL, LOL.
Yeah,
Batman
right.
to Spider-Man, bring it, you pest. Spider-Man to Batman, okay, you pest. Alfred is badass too. I have to agree with that. Considering the fact Batman never did a contingency plan, or Alfred
Contingency
means
plan,
the
yeah.
latter is unstoppable, even to the former.
I agree.
For billionaire Bruce Wayne is a pretty reserved guy. Makes sense as Batman fights for pretty conservative values when I think about it. Well, you have to remember, like, Bruce Wayne's like keeping things on a down low so people won't figure out that he is Batman.
Yeah.
I don't think Batman is fighting for conservative values. He's more fighting for common sense. Like, don't shoot those people. That's not nice. Stop it.
Yep. You guys are much more familiar with Batman and Superman in the comics than I. What did you think of Batman vs Superman movie?
Yeah, Batman versus
I am
Superman.
like I have to state out. I am not really familiar with the history of DC Comics and Marvel. I'm not really knowledgeable on that area. I'm just
Yeah, I
Batman
pointing that
can.
out.
versus Superman is
Yeah,
DC. Like,
yeah,
just
that was
DC.
Batman versus Superman called Dawn of Justice. We own it. You know what I'm familiar with is the fact that Superman was the ultimate alien, right? Came from Krypton and everything. Batman was still in existence before Superman arrived on the scene, and I think Batman was at one point was bitterly hurt because he says, "Look, I can handle crime in the city, but now you've got this alien from another world who thinks he can take over the world's crime and eliminate all of it." And I don't know. I don't know if Batman ever felt animosity to Superman, but I have to feel he did. And if you look at it in the movie Dawn of Justice, Batman versus Superman, you will see some of that animosity surface. And it didn't help that Lex Luthor, out of nowhere, uh, gets a chance to be close to Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. But you have to also know that he sees that the two of them obviously are at odds, and he exploits that, right? I mean, so
Mm-hmm.
it's really scary. I mean, and when you think about, I mean, when you see in the comics where they do Justice League, right, and they bring them all together, and then of course the Super Friends, the early cartoon things where they were all together and everything. But see, the thing is, Superman defers to Batman because Batman, like you said, he's the ultimate detective. The guy, he's got contingencies upon contingencies. Superman's got all his strength, his vision, and all this other stuff, but he just doesn't have the human factor. He doesn't have that human element. I mean, he can always dress up as Clark Kent, but that doesn't mean that he's, you know, really that feeling and really that emotional as a human being because he isn't. So I think that there's that general jealousy between the two superheroes. You see it. I mean, even when they go on missions together, like when they did Justice League, the Snyder cut, and even the one we own, which is not the Snyder cut, but the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what you see is that even though they're working together, there is still that underlying. It's not hostile. It's just animosity. It's just like, yeah, you're human being. and I'm a Superman, and I can, deflect bullets and crap, but you can't, and and then Batman says, "Yeah, but I got a plan upon this other plan to do something." Yeah, you see that it's underlined. So, it just, yeah, you just have to trail it from back in the comics, and then just get it to where they have the live action, and you'll see it all the way through. Like it's two opposing masters, I guess, in a way. I mean,
Yep.
if you think about it. So
I'm just going to put this out there. To add to that, Batman knows what Superman can do. Superman knows Batman knows what he can do. Batman isn't afraid of Superman because he's an alien. He isn't even afraid of Superman. He's afraid of what Superman can do because he's human.
Yeah.
Right.
Like like think about it. If Superman has a bad day, right, and flips out, he
Like in the
flips
like
out and
just
just
like
punches the ground without holding back. That is a continent split in half. That is most of humanity wiped out.
well, we
That is
basically
more than
already
an atomic bomb.
already saw it like in the Justice League Injustice, a video game and movie. Yeah, it to see like even though he's like alien slash and alien but a race as a human with his powers that he has, yes, he can do quite damaging effects.
I'll put it this way. There's a question in the comic books. Well, sorry, in the cartoons and the comic books.
Yeah.
Superman will most likely outlive Lois Lane. He's probably immortal on Earth. Literally immortal. Even if he's blown to bits, will just heal up eventually. What happens when Lois Lane dies? What happens if she's brutally murdered? Like,
I have to say I don't really think Superman's immortal. Does he age much slower than the other humans on Earth? Yes, he does, but not immortal in my opinion.
But the thing is, and he is immortal. He's quite possibly is. He doesn't even know. But the point of the matter is, what happens when he has that bad day and he can't control his temper? Because that happens to everyone. What happens when he, for the first time in his entire life, hits the ground with all his might and force? Remember, he can fight against beings that can literally destroy the planet by hand. He can knock most of them out. He can fight who's that fucking guy that wants the death equation?
I don't know.
With the Omega beams.
You mean Darkseid?
Yeah, he can fight
Darkseid. Yes, that's Darkseid.
Darkseid. It's canon. Darkseid, if he wanted to. The only reason he hasn't done this is because it's a valuable resource. If Darkseid wants to, he can destroy the planet barehanded. He doesn't need anything else than his bare hands. And Superman can not only fight toe by toe, but most of the time win. Like,
right.
You look at it from Batman's point of view. This is a person that can destroy my entire world. And the worst thing about it is he is a person. When or if most likely when it happens, it won't be his fault. Most likely won't be his fault. It'll be just a bad day. Right. But his just bad day is the end of the world.
The Joker, what is only takes one bad day to totally snap with with the story what's that story's name?
The Killing Joke.
Yes, thank you. I was having a brain fart right there. The Killing Joke.
That's okay.
And yes, and I also had a brain fart with the Omega beam. I should have realized that it was Darkseid. Whoops.
That's right.
Anywho, it's the same thing with the Killing Joke with the Joker. only takes one bad day for a person, to completely snap when he's like talking to Batman in the Killing Joke. Yep, same concept. I'm gonna get rest of the chat and then
Sorry.
no, you're good. Well, we're gonna get rest of the chat and then we're gonna show our stuff out and then we're gonna end for the evening. Pleasant Valley Picker, awesome. I need that controller. Could get me into gaming again. Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman. To me, he played both roles great. Yes,
I totally agree.
To me, Michael Keaton is the best live action Batman. The boy.
Well,
the
you know
best,
what? He was even. No, I just
voice
want to interrupt
actor.
real quick. He
Sure.
was the saving grace in the Flash movie. Even though the Flash movie didn't do so well, I have to say, Michael Keaton as Batman coming back, yes, I agreed with it, and both my wife and I loved it. We'd love to see him do that again, and it was great, even if it was for a short time. I believe that his appearance was definitely the saving grace to an otherwise very dismal film, if you want to be honest. But it's just, I really
it'd be
enjoyed
good
that.
to see him as playing Beetlejuice again in the Beetlejuice 2 movie as well.
Of course.
But yes, Akeem, I agree with you. Michael Keaton is my favorite live action Batman, and my favorite voice actor for Batman is Captain Conroy. For Joker, my from the best live action role for Joker is Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, and the best voice actor for Joker, in my opinion, is Mark Hamill.
It's Mark Hamill by a landslide.
Yep, Mark Hamill in the landslide.
My favorite Joker is the one that goes, "Why so serious?"
That's Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that's Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger did a great Joker,
Mm-hmm.
and to some extent, I do like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I do. I like that they've given him a bit of a different take on because they're doing a Joker 2 that's coming out. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be good, and just good as the first one. And I like Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, some people give him a really bad rap, but I think it's unwarranted. I really like when he does certain roles, and I think he did Joker very well. So,
I don't think he's a real flaming big bird.
Yeah, that Joker 2 movie will be coming out on October 4th, so just in a few months. Pleasant Valley Picker says only to competition winners. Does the controller vibrate? LOL. I guess so. Pleasant Valley Picker, darn, I want to buy one. Batman, if he does a contingency plan on Xenogears, a contingency plan code Xenogears, subject Xenogears, we're so screwed. We are so screwed. Superman's first appearance in 1938, Batman 1939, about 11 months apart. Sweet. The golden age indeed. Yep.
Definitely.
Speaking of Superman and Batman, in a couple of years from now, within the 230s, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman will all enter the public domain 1 year each. Woo!
Wow, nice.
Unless for some crazy reason the copyright extensions that are placed on Mickey Mouse get suddenly abolished, right?
Suddenly abolished, yeah.
That's why he took the Clark Kent persona to protect Lois.
Yes.
Can't remember if he ever did a Death of Lois story. Would be interesting. They almost did was the first
original
movie,
Superman. Yeah,
original Superman with Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, they almost did, but they tapped on it, but they didn't quite, because of the fact that he defied all physics and said, "Okay, I just fly backwards and bring her back to life." I don't think that's how it works. I'm not
There is
sure how that works
Yeah,
with
I
time
didn't see how
travel.
it works, but we'll take it either way.
there is
I, I'll
there
go
is a
with it.
spin-off where the Joker kills Lois Lane.
Yeah,
There
that's
is a
Justice League
spin-off, and
Injustice.
Right.
yeah, and Superman turns into a tyrannical dictator.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
like actual tyrannical dictator, and that's one of the good possible outcomes.
Yeah. Injustice. Yeah, I've got
I
that
don't
downloaded. It's so awesome. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know about that, but okay. Absolutely, Mikey. He was the only reason why I watched that horrible Flash movie. Um, I really enjoyed Jack Nicholson's Joker, though. It's a little hammy.
Amy.
You are all a little too excited over that controller.
Well, she showed it, and we all got a
I
kick
love
out.
I
It-
love
uh,
beautiful art pieces that have a statement that speaks to the soul. Like, of course, I like that control.
Joanne.
Yeah.
Nope, not Joanne. Jolene. Uh,
Joaquin Phoenix is a great
Joaquin.
actor. He really gets into the role and
Yeah,
becomes the
it's a
person.
hard
Yes,
name to pronounce. Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. He really gets into the role and becomes the person.
yes.
And if the copyright extensions from the 1990s that were put into place on Mickey Mouse ever do get suddenly abolished, we will bear witness of an event called the Great Surge.
A great series.
But Jack Nick will still be my number one Joker. Agreed. Indeed, in the case of Jolene,
Joaquin.
Joaquin, for me, it's a play on words of that name.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it looks like a Joaquin.
yeah,
I
indeed,
know it's
in the case of Joaquin Phoenix, Hakeem. Alrighty
yes.
then. I just want to say thank you, Farrell, for being here. I really appreciate it. Um, H1 says yes. The Great Search to the public domain, a once in a lifetime event. Indeed.
Indeed.
So tomorrow on my gaming channel, I'll be either playing Elder Scrolls or or some other game, but I'm gonna go with Elder Scrolls. Um, I have been meaning to get back into Gotham Knights and Arcus Legacy, but I've just been busy with other stuff. But we'll get back to it for sure. I promise. I'm way too much of a Deadpool fan already. That's cool. Lemon Pie
Nice.
says, fun stream, Raquel. Thank you. Also, Milton and Mikey. Indeed.
Indeed. You're very
Um,
welcome, Lemon.
so when
You're
we get,
welcome. I'm glad I made one person happy in my entire life. Will
ah,
forever
Yay.
remember this day as the greatest day in history. The day I was thanked.
damn it, where is my, here we go. Here's my gaming channel link. I'll be pretty much like, I think I'll be pretty much like, playing Elder Scrolls, tomorrow. So there you go. There's my gaming channel. Check me out there. I'll be playing, most likely Saturday and Sunday for sure. H1, I should ask, Kel, since you're going to end it, do you wish to raid someone? Not you have to if unwilling. Let me check real quick. For that. In the meantime, Mikey, what's up with you with on your channel and stuff like that?
Oh, okay. Well, as we've got it set up on our Mikey Sue's 4 channel, our second to last webcam video we did, in the description tells you about all the stuff that's coming up in the future, in the months to come, starting in August on the 15th, which is going to be a Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have the review of Deadpool and Wolverine without spoilers. If some people haven't seen it up to that point, yeah, we promise we won't do any spoilers, but we will tell you basically about the film, basic plot and everything, and how well it was done, and so on, or if it was done really badly. We'll even tell you people about that. We also have another stream planned for September 22nd, which is my 59th birthday. Or in the case of some people, it goes back to 49 for men. 10 years, doubt. Yeah, that's going to also be at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on the 22nd of September. I don't know what date that falls on yet, but we'll keep the same time frame. Then we also have streams planned, one for October 30th, which is going to be a Halloween stream, pre-Halloween. We're going to examine two of the best, in our honest opinion, both me and Suzanne, two of the best Halloween series that were on television, namely The Addams Family and The Munsters. And we're going to be talking about both of those shows, as well as the movies, either TV movie or, in the case of Raul Julia and Angelica Houston, the two Addams family films they did, Addams Family and Addams Family Values. And I believe there was the third one too, so we'll have to look for that as well. Then also in November, we'll do a Thanksgiving stream on Thanksgiving Day. Not October 12th, or which is usually Canadian Thanksgiving, but the November Thanksgiving, we'll have that. But we may do a Canadian Thanksgiving in October also, before the Halloween one. We haven't decided yet, but we might do that too, so we can honor both countries. And then in December, we'll have a Christmas one for everyone, and then New Year's Eve. And then, of course, don't forget, we have our weekly webcam series, which is also known by the acronym WWS. And that is a series that we will review each day of the week, Monday through Friday, not on the weekends. I got rid of all of our topic times. We don't do that anymore for other personal reasons.
Okay.
But for the weekly webcam, we got Mondays will be Red Dwarf. We'll be doing 2 episodes of that. Tuesdays we'll be doing continuing with the Secrets of ISIS. Wednesday will be the Greatest American Hero. Thursday, of course, will be the A-Team. And then on Friday, we're still examining Star Trek films. And the latest one we'll be going back to review completely is Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. And then everything else after that, plus some Star Wars films. And we also have planned every Star Trek series, from the original series all the way up to Enterprise with Scott Bakula. And then after that, we're going to do a special on every one of the Star Trek fan films. And we're going to try to put them all together. If not, we'll do it as a 3-part series. But we'll be looking at the New Voyages, Renegades, Axanar, also of Monsters and Men. There's also the Star Trek Continues, and Star Trek Borg, and Star Trek Klingon, among others. So that's what we all hope to do. We got a lot coming up this year, the rest of the year. So hopefully everybody comes to our channel and subscribes. We're only 13 away from 200, and we do plan on doing a surprise live stream at any time when we do reach 200 subscribers. So please subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, you can follow Mikey here. There's his channel right there. Yeah, go check him out.
Oh,
awesome. Milton, I don't think you have anything planned on your channel, but if you do, I don't know.
I don't have anything planned on my channel for now. There's no good games out at the moment that I like. I'm sorry. The video game companies have betrayed me.
Check out his channel anyway. He does occasional gaming streams on there. I know Moira was here, but she's having technical issues and stuff like that. But go follow her channel as well. I think she'll be doing a political / news topic rant stream probably tomorrow or in a couple of days, somewhere between there. I just want to get rushed to the chat right here. This day, Milton did provide joy to Love and Pie. Awesome. That's
Yay! I love you too,
Yay.
Lemon Pie.
every day I wake up. It's the greatest day in history.
I
Agreed.
agree.
This
I
has been such a fantastic stream. All of you made this day so much better. Aw, thank you so much.
Thanks, Steve.
It was all for you. Only for you.
PVT, PBVP thinks that's an awesome attitude.
Yes.
Thinks lemon. I guess the older I get, the less I take life for granted. Even if I have a bad day, I'm still glad to be here. Indeed. Does that only work when Raquel does it? Was
Yes.
fun. Thanks for the fun stream. You're welcome. Ancient One, I do have someone in mind. We're going to raid Ranker Steve. Right now he is doing a Lego build of 1989 Batmobile, and he's still like streaming. So we're gonna raid over on his channel.
Okay, Ranker Steve. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna raid Ranker Steve.
Sounds good.
And here's his live stream right now. Go check him out. Say hi, for us all. Say, hey, Raquel SSG raid. I'll pop there. I'll pop over there in a few minutes.
Just ask him why a raven is like a writing desk. Seriously, just go. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Just to mess with him.
Why is a raven like a writing disc? Okay.
You, Milton. Also, please check out my gaming channel. I'll be streaming this weekend, playing Elder Scrolls Online. And with that, guys, thank you for so much being here. We'll be back next week. Speaking of which, I'm not going to be streaming on Thursday because Mikey will be busy on Thursdays for a few weeks. So we're just going to move it to Fridays now for the time being. Yeah, that's our schedule. So we'll be doing this again next Friday. Ancient One says, yep, better get the raid gear going because Raquel SSG 2211 is going to raid a live stream soon. So here's the rating to hashtag everyone. Hashtag Raquel SSG raid. Please post said rating hashtag only once to respect the live streamer who you are rating. Thank you very much for hanging out with Raquel SSG 2211. Yes, thank you so much, Ancient One. I appreciate you. Lemon Pie is awesome. Friday works. Yep. That's gonna be only temporary for right now. But any case, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all. I couldn't do this without you. And with that, we'll see you over there at Raker Steve stream. And we'll catch you guys later. So have a good rest of your evening, everyone. See ya.
We love
you. Take care, everyone.
Meow. If this is your first time being here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Raquel SSG2211. Catch you later.